I look out across the water, I smell the song, I feel the breeze, but in my heart I hear the calling of my old home, Tennessee. We don't know where these rivers flow, or why the wind chooses when and where to blow. The sun is gonna rise each and every time, but I've still got Tennessee on my mind. From Reaper's Fork to Watertown, and maybe Johnson City or Memphis bound. No matter where I go, no matter what I see, I still hear the calling of Tennessee. And who we to know where these rivers flow, or why the wind chooses when and where to blow. The sun is gonna rise each and every time, and I've still got Tennessee on my mind. I miss the smoke on the Cumberland and the fireflies at midnight, and the color of the leaves in the fall. But who are we to know where these rivers flow, or why the wind chooses when and where to blow? The sun is gonna rise each and every time, and I've still got Tennessee on. Yeah, I've still got Tennessee on my mind. Yeah.
I would say my head had been better. Back again, my familiar stand. Nothing more than a thought to relate to. Tied it up for better or worse. I'm going back to my ways, to the sanctuary. Nobody stays, but I'm removed by my situation, lacking concentration on what I mean when I say would I believe in? Thoughts are my product of reasoning. My eyes are relaxed, but my head's got them leading the way. It's not often I've arranged things, and it's not like me to be clear. There's a bitterness inside me waking up. Thought I'd take it in my grip, but that just sank me deeper. Now I know what they meant when they said nothing takes you out of a hole, out of your story. Leave your ambitions all in the front yard. One more Saturday night, you're wearing them jeans so tight. I'll keep waiting for the perfect moment when you're dancing like that, with that shirt and that hat. God, I'll need just one more drink to calm down. Ooh, you know I need you. Ooh, what can I do to reach you? Oh girl, you're one of a kind. I just can't get you off my mind, and baby, we'd be unshakable. You and me would fit so fine. Just tell me how to make you mine, and girl, we'd be unbreakable. We could leave this place, stay in bed for days. You'd be my Yoko and I'd be your John. You'd show your secret tattoo, maybe I'd get one too. You and me can start a whole new chapter. Oh, when you smile at me, I can feel the whole world turning. Oh girl, you're one of a kind. I just can't get you off my mind, and baby, we'd be unshakable. You and me would fit so fine. Just tell me how to make you mine, and girl, we'd be unbreakable. We'll get past Sunday morning. There's a future for us that's dawning. Oh girl, you're one of a kind. I just can't get you off my mind, and baby, we'd be unshakable. You and me would fit so fine. Just tell me how to make you mine, and girl, we'd be unbreakable. Oh girl, you're one of a kind. I just can't get you off my mind, and baby, we'd be unshakable. You and me would fit so fine. Just tell me how to make you mine, and girl, we'd be unbreakable.
Come all you young rounders, and a story I'll tell of the
promise of heaven and the warning of hell. Take heed where you ramble, or too soon you will go. Way up on the hillside where the new flowers grow. Well, he met in the springtime, the sun sinking low. Two star-crossed lovers in the still melting snow, where the loving was easy and the courting was brief. Well, they called her a beauty, they called him a thief. In the quiet of the evening,
uniting the races with truth instead of dividing them with lies. We're also rebuilding the family by rebuilding the man. I am Jesse Lee Peterson. Good morning. I am back. Back. You can get involved by calling 888-7753-773. 888-77 Jesse. I gotta take some water. Jesse. Jesse. And we have every way that you can watch and support the show listed on jesseleepeterson.com/show. jesseleepeterson.com/show. And if you're out and about anywhere in the world, stuck in an airport, flight delay, as mine happened on one of the flights, you can listen to the show anywhere in the world on your iPhone or iPad by calling the listen line at 641-793-1500. 641-793-1500. And don't forget to follow us on rumble.com/Jesse Lee Peters. You gotta know how to rumble. And cozy.tv/JLP. cozy.tv/JLP. It is Tuesday. I'm back on a Tuesday. As a matter of fact, not only is it Tuesday, my first day back for a whole week. What the? It is Country and Western Tuesday. What a mess! Beta! What the? Who let the dogs out? Amazing! Amazing! Nice. Amazing. So it's my first day back in a week, as most of you know. I'm just now seeing that I have my rifle with bullets and a new hat. What the? Thank you, Hassan.
Ready to shoot squirrels. Welcome back.
Thank you. It was amazing. Amazing. Amazing upgrade on the action figure.
Unbelievable.
You did this?
No, that was from. These were from someone from the fellowship.
Oh, I got a gun on the side and everything. What? I'm ready. Thank you, Daniel, from the fellowship. This is really cool. Amazing, huh? Totally remind me of the good old days. And I got to first say thanks to my team, because it takes all of us to make all this happen. And from what I can tell and the reports I've been getting back, they did an amazing job on everything. On running the show for a week. Joel did the first Sunday that I was away. He did the fellowship. And then the next Sunday, which was day before yesterday, Sunday, Doug, and Joel, by the way, is the JoelFriday.tv show here. Joel Friday TV. I don't think it's a .tv, but Joel Friday TV. And then, who's coming up today at 11 a.m., And then Doug did the meeting on Sunday. He is our computer guy, webmaster, amongst doing other things. And also, Hassan, I hear Hassan sat in for Joel. Am I right?
Oh, yes, sir.
How did that go?
It was interesting.
And what I can't see you.
Oh, yeah, here I come.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
baby.
Welcome back.
Thank you, man.
He's back.
Thank you all for making this thing happen. And how was it interesting?
It was just interesting. Joel, for the past couple of weeks, has been talking about relationships and kind of the men and women dynamic. And as you know, his vulnerable take that you called in on.
Yeah. What a beta.
So I had something else kind of initially planned.
Oh, yeah, I remember.
Yeah, but I figured it may have been a little too heavy-handed, so I audibled to just interviewing my girlfriend and talking about the things that Joel has been talking about the past few weeks to keep it in line.
And did she agree with Joel?
She definitely said that she appreciated Joel's.
Oh, God.
She appreciated Joel's perspective.
And did you agree with it? Did you correct her on it, or you went along?
I think I was more just observing.
Observing what?
Observing kind of the allowing everything to just play out. I was just kind of, leading along.
What?
Like, I wasn't like imposing any of my views really. I was just kind of.
But that's a man's job to impose his views.
I know, but in that moment, I was just acting as Joel's substitute. So, like, substitute teacher vibe.
And so you couldn't correct your girlfriend because you were acting as Joel's substitute?
No, I was correcting her. Like, I think I stood pretty firm in the truth.
You're not,
But
I'm gonna have to listen to that.
for entertainment purposes, sometimes you gotta cater to the women, like Trump says.
You got to cater to them for entertainment purposes?
Just to.
She was entertaining you?
I don't know. It was a mess. It was a mess.
It was a mess?
Yeah.
What was a mess?
The whole thing. Now that I think about it.
The whole thing was a mess? In what way? Haven't heard it yet. I'm going to have to hear it. I didn't have time to hear it that day. But I will hear it. And what was the whole mess?
No, I'm just kidding. It was cool. It was nice. I appreciate Joel. Thank you for the opportunity. And
yeah, warming you up, man.
yeah, it was fun.
And amazing, though. You got me interested now. I got to listen to it.
Yeah,
I
well,
gotta watch it.
don't be underwhelmed.
What a bad.
A mess.
Hey, Nick is telling me that, the anchor baby, that he called her sick for wanting war with the man. What would that mean?
Oh yeah, I was saying that it's that she's sick for wanting to purposely push buttons of the man, and although Nick brought up a good point, like why should we have any buttons that can be pushed?
That's right.
And so
That's right.
we got into that kind of stuff, and
you corrected her on that?
I did through Nick.
You had Nick talk for you?
No, but Nick was secretly, giving me some inspo.
What the?
I mean, there's a lot going on. The lights, I was sweating.
Oh, she had you sweating?
Not just her, but, the chat. And
They had you sweating?
I don't know.
What a mess.
It was nice.
So the girl had you sweating, the light had you sweating, the chat had you sweating, so Nick had to help you on the conversation?
It's true.
No, that was a question.
Yeah.
What the? So now does she see you as weak?
No, I think all jokes aside, I think it was good to kind of have an honest conversation in front of people to where, we can open the dialogue between the men and the women and start trying to figure it out. So I think it was actually pretty decent.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate you doing that.
Yes, sir.
Amazing. So thanks to Joel Friday TV, Hake of the Hake Report.com. The Hake. Everywhere I went, people would say, hey, the Hake Report. They love that title because they love Hake. And thanks to my producer, Sean, the greatest producer on this side of heaven, and to the Anchor Baby. The Anchor Baby really helped make this thing happen. And the American Anchor Baby, Monday through Friday, right here at 12 noon Pacific time. And to everybody, Hassan for making it happen. And everybody, I am grateful, really. I have an amazing team. It's not just me, it's my whole team. It's my whole team. So I am grateful. So I was down in Georgia, and I went down to Alabama, and it was interesting. And what I realized, as a matter of fact, I was supposed to return possibly around Friday or Saturday of last weekend, but I had to reschedule for some other stuff. But I realized that we live in a sad, I'm not attached to the sadness, I just see that it's sad, right? Because the people can't see. But we are living in a sad, pathetic world today. It's messed up. It's screwed up. And it's all because the men are weak. The father was weak in raising their children, if they were around at all. And they were still weak if they were not controlling the mother. And as a result of men being weak, I had no idea how bad it is. And because the woman hate the weak man, she is refusing to pull away from him and overcome herself, and she's in a bad shape. She is in bad condition. She is in bad condition because she has a love-hate relationship for weak men, and she is refusing to work on herself because of not understanding, I guess, or not caring in many cases, of that weak love-hate relationship she has with men. And the one thing I do want to tell you, men, I don't care who you are, what color you are, how rich or poor you are, how tall, short, or fat you are. Women hate weak men. They detest weak men. They will want to keep you weak, but they hate you for being weak because deep down inside of them, they prefer you to be strong. They prefer you to be strong. And women all over the country, all races, are in bad shape because the men are weak. It would be like Christ being weak with us, the men, catering to us and granting and carrying on. That wouldn't work. Men are pitifully weak, and it's having a devastating effect on women and children. It really, really is. And it's sad. It's sad because it's only because you can't see. You don't want to see. If you wanted to see, you would be able to see. All those who truly want to see can see. All those who don't cannot see. And there is only a few people, men and women, who want to see and overcome, because that's the only way you're going to change your nature from the negative to the positive, or the good from the evil to the good. And you can't change it. You just have to see it needs to be changed. And it will change. Another thing I noticed down in Georgia and Alabama, everybody and their mama is fat as a pig. Everybody fat. Real fat. Not just polite fat, but overdoing the fat. Especially the women, even the white women. Once in a while you see a little nice, shapely white woman, right? But everybody fat. Everybody fat as a pig because they're miserable. And they are eating like 90 going north because they have conflict. The men are weak. The women are angry. The men are angry, trying to get the woman to be strong, and the woman is looking to him to be strong. Have you noticed, ladies, that the men look to you to be strong, but inwardly you're looking to them to be strong, and nobody's being strong? Because it has been ordained that the man has been ordained by God, that he be strong, that he is the leader. I can't tell you the number of women I talked to, and men, but especially women, that were married or in relationship, and I ask, do you obey your man, your husband, your boyfriend? No, we're equal. Ain't no such thing as that. There has to be leader, and the only one that can lead is the man. It's ordained by God. You can't have two leaders in a home or a company or anything. There's the president and there's the vice president. The man has been created to be the president of his home, of his business, or whatever it is he's doing. He's the leader. And when that is not, order is not there, you have hell to pay. Because the man looking to the woman to lead and the woman looking to the man to lead. And no one is leading. It's crazy how it is. It really, I didn't know, I knew it was crazy because I counsel with people, I talk to folks on the show here, the meetings in different places, but I had no idea how bad it was until I traveled. It's beautiful. And I noticed that most people have refused and are refusing to be an individual. To finally say, you know what, something is wrong with me. I'm weak. I'm afraid. I have anger. Let me work on me. It's rare to find that. And it's messed up. I was at a restaurant down in, a cafe down in Georgia. And it was a busy cafe, and so the waitress, a woman, she very nice lady as far as services. They give good service. But it took her a while to come back to bring my change back from the bill that we paid, right? And so I told one little lady, can you go and tell the waiter to come, I'm ready to leave? And she was like, which one? I was like, the little fat one. And then she's like, which one though? I was like, oh yeah, that's a dumb question because everybody fat. That ain't gonna be no help to you. And she was cracking up. All the waitresses were fat. So which one? And she said, how about this is the one with the glasses on? Yeah, that's right. Because they're miserable people. And you can tell when a woman does not have a strong man. You can tell it right off the bat. You can look at her eyes and see it. It's amazing to see it. But I had a good time down there. Everything had worked out very well. I met a lot of people who listened to JesseLeePeterson.com, TheFallenState.tv, all the other shows. The Hake Report, the American Anchor Baby, and all the shows. They love them. Everywhere I went, even the pilot. Like, hey, Jesse, I like your stuff, man. It's really good shows. Helpful, informative. So I really appreciate that, all y'all out there, even the fat ones. You just don't know what's going on with you, and you're using food to keep you, to cause you to forget rather than to remember. If you want to be free, and Lord knows that if ever we need freedom, we need it now. And it's only going to come from within you. It really is. And men, stop grinning. Matter of fact, it's Men's History Month. Thank you all for celebrating White History Month. It was very, very interesting. I couldn't help but not be here the last week to finish it out, but it was amazing. Amazing. And this month is August. And August is Men's History Month. So we're going to be focusing on that. Because if ever the men needed a wake-up call, they need it now. Really. Because the women are desperate for real men. They hunger and thirst after a real man, and the way that the real man should be hungering and thirsting after righteousness. Put that first, you can't go wrong. If you put that first, seeking first the kingdom of God and his right way from within, everything else will fall in place. It really, really will. Because you can't trust yourself. Who are you that you can trust yourself? You don't even know yourself. But this is Men's History Month, and we're going to be dealing with that. And believe me, there are people out there who do not want you to be a free individual. They don't want it. And anyone that try to point you in that direction, they're going to go out of their way to stop you and stop the person from trying to point the right way for you so that they can keep you distracted. And if you notice, that's what the devil does. Anyone that listens to thoughts, anyone that listens to the imagination, all thoughts are all lies all the time about anything. Anyone that's listened to thoughts are distracted by the devil. Whether you realize it or not, it's a spiritual battle. It is a spiritual battle. It's not physical at all. And the devil will keep you distracted with thoughts and imagination. That's why you have to let go of all ideas, all plans, all thoughts, except practical thoughts of running your business, getting married, or not getting married, but buying food, whatever you do. And on my way back yesterday, I saw this amazing movie. I'm trying, and I sent the name of it to the Hake, and I'm trying to find it. Hey, did you see that? I sent you the title of this movie because I knew I would forget, and I wanted the people. I'm trying to find it, folks. Be patient with me here. Let's see. I sent it to Hake so that what happened was I was on this airplane and it says it wasn't delivered because up there you can't deliver it, I guess. And I had my phone on an airplane mode thing. And I didn't know that, so I didn't know it would, I'm not good at this computer stuff. Hey, so it didn't go through because I was in the airplane mode. So where is it then? It should still be on my computer or so, my phone or somewhere, right? So we checking on it. He said, check here. Oh, yeah. This is a movie. I had never seen it before. I'm not Thank you, Hake. I found it. Hake is something else. He ain't got that good hair for nothing. I'm not getting paid to promote it. It's just that it was so deep and it was so amazing. I highly recommend everyone should see it, but especially those who are seeking to overcome. And maybe then you will realize that the devil does exist, and he exists in your mind and your emotions. All emotions, all thoughts, and all emotions are of the devil. There's no love in it at all. It's only hate. It's only anger. Have you ever heard of that one, Hassan? Oh, I haven't said it yet. The name of this movie is The Pope's Exorcist. The Pope Exorcist. EXCRCIST. Have you heard that?
I have not.
The Pope Exorcist.
No.
Apparently, when the Christian thing first, the Catholic first started, the Catholic stuff. No, it didn't have. That Russell Crowe. How do you know? With the gray beard, he played the Pope. Oh, okay. Apparently, Russell. I'm being told by Nick and Russell Crowe played the Pope. But this Pope, apparently, when the Catholic people first started their little Catholic religion, the popes and the bishops and whatever they were, they knew that people were possessed. They knew that the devil existed. And so when someone was possessed, they would go and rebuke the devil from these people. But at somewhere down the road, they got away from doing that. And it seemed to, as the more educated the new popes became, the dumber they got, so they stopped doing that, which was a bad mistake. And so I highly recommend you see that movie. What's the name of it, Hassan?
The Exorcist, Pope, I forget what you said, Pope Exorcist?
Yes.
Or something like that?
Yeah. You got to see it.
Amazing.
You got to see
I
it.
love Russell Crowe.
He was very, very good. And he was one man who had to stand alone, and he wasn't afraid to do it. All the other educated popes went against him. Not all of them, but most of them.
It reminds me of The Fallen State when you interviewed that brother Carlos.
Oh, yeah.
Exorcist guy.
But this is deeper than that. I got to take a quick break. Back in a moment. Your phone calls are super chats. Amazing. I have books that are amazing. I highly recommend you get them. 7 Guaranteed Steps to Spiritual, Family, and Financial Success Guide. Even if you're not starting a business, but you have a job, or you're on welfare, it can help you if you do. Be doers of the word, all right? From rage to responsibility. From rage. That's what I write about in the first chapter, especially how I overcame. Scam. How the black leadership exploits black Americans. They are using them, and blacks are too willing to be used. And then my last book, The Antidote, Healing America from the Poison of Hate, Blame, and Victimhood. They are all amazing books, and they are helpful. Go to rebuildingtheman.com if you want an autographed copy, or call 800-411-2663.
Out here on the road, and our love takes center stage at every single show. But lately you've been distant, and I don't know what for. Something's changed, you can't see my face in the crowd.
So the movie was an hour long, hour and a few minutes, and the flight was like 3 hours, right? Give or take, maybe 4. But it took me the whole flight to complete the movie because I kept rewinding it to hear something else about it. It was very, very interesting. So check it out if you want. I highly recommend it. But I want you to know, anyone, I don't care who you are, anyone that has anger is possessed with the spirit of evil. And the spirit of evil deceive you in so many ways that it's not even funny. The spirit of evil deceive you all the time. It distracts you to keep you from finding the truth. And it's so interesting in that most people do not believe in the truth. They got this false idea about the truth because they listen to the devil, right? But the truth will really make you free, and it will really change your old nature to a new nature. It'll change your life. But you don't trust it. Oh, I got faith in God. No, you don't. That's another lie from the devil, from thoughts. Because if you have faith, if you believe, if you knew God, you wouldn't be miserable. You wouldn't be afraid. You wouldn't be lonely and all that madness, which is nothing but hell. It's misery. You wouldn't be trying to get anything from anyone to make you feel good, men or women. But as long as you have anger, you cannot help but try to get something from somebody or something to make you feel better. And it's never going to work. Amazing, huh? So check it out. I mentioned, and I want to play this one soundbite for you, maybe two, so you can see what's going on, that you got to pull away from, you should do what you want, but in order for you to be free, you must be willing to pull away from the crowd, from mama, from daddy, from brothers, from sister, from so-called friends and family members and everything. Now, don't make that happen you make that happen, start seeking, and it will happen naturally. And you'll be amazed at how you will start to see reality and deal with people in a perfect way. We can't change ourselves. We know nothing. Of ourselves, we can literally do nothing. And of ourselves, we know nothing. And the blacks, because I was asking the other blacks down there, what's wrong with the blacks? Oh, another thing I noticed in Alabama and Georgia, a lot of black people were working. No matter where I went, a bunch of blacks were working there too. And the blacks and the whites treated each other in the way that we were taught growing up. They were polite to one another. I'm sure they didn't agree with everything, but they were polite to one another. Hi, how you doing? Polite. They talked. It was the same way it was when I was growing up. This separation between blacks and whites was caused by the so-called elitist black people. The ones that were supposed to be educated, especially the civil rights movement, they are the ones who divided the people for personal gain. Right now, the blacks and the whites they're treating each other the way that everybody treats each other. If you had never left the country and that's all you knew, you would not know that blacks and whites are fighting each other in the big cities and places like that. You wouldn't know about it. You wouldn't believe that existed. And you have the NAACP and the Congressional Black Caucus and the so-called black leaders and the liberal white leaders and others. They want you divided for personal gain. They don't care about you at all. And I don't blame them because you're supposed to care about you. As an adult, you're responsible for you. It reminds me of the so-called mothers who are fighting against transgender stuff in the schools. And they're lying to those mothers. could care less about the children. It's all about them. It's not about the children at all. They don't care if they cut the body parts off and attach the wrong part to it. Because if they cared about the children, they would stay home and raise the man's children. They would educate the children themselves. But they used the schools as daycare centers so that they could go out and pretend to be equal to a man, which is never going to happen. You're going to have to weaken the man in order to think that you're equal to a man. But they don't care. Down in Florida, the governor, Ron DeSantis, is trying to help the blacks. He's trying to help them, and these organizations does not want that to happen. I dare you wake up the blacks. I dare you to pretend that slavery was not a bad thing. Slavery wasn't a bad thing overall. I remember when I was visiting Tuskegee Institute, founded by a black ex-slave man, Booker T. Washington. He was enslaved, the real deal. He was raised, his folks were sold off and all that, the real deal, right? But Booker T thought that when the slavery thing ended, that the blacks and the whites should come together because the blacks were very talented in that they had trades. They knew how to work the farms. They knew how to take care of homes. They knew how to build. They were very talented. And that they would be a big asset to the whites now that slavery was ending. But the so-called black leaders and others convinced the blacks to move away from the South, not all but most, up north, and that's when they enslaved the blacks. And it's been that way ever since. But blacks were very talented during slavery. The governor want to keep that going. He want that to be taught. That is the truth. But the race hustlers want you to think that slavery was all bad. There was nothing good in it. But the blacks learned trades from slavery. They were very talented, not just singing and dancing, right? Butt dancing. But they don't want you to know that. They want slave to sound so bad. Oh, you support slavery? And they don't know anything about it. What the? Remember I said I was going to start my own plantation and bring the blacks back to the plantation and teach them to work and be responsible to learn trades. Well, AP is reporting that African-American leaders decry what they call policy violence against people of color imposed by Ron DeSantis after Florida's teachers are now required to instruct students that enslaved people develop skills which, in some instances, could be applied for their personal benefit. That is the truth, folks. That's the plain old truth. Watch this from the Florida Channel.
Tonight, growing backlash against Governor Ron DeSantis and the Florida Board of Education over the state's new standards for teaching the history of U.S. slavery.
I think that they're probably going to show some of the folks that eventually parlayed, being a blacksmith into doing things later in life.
The new guidelines require middle school students be taught, quote, how slaves developed skills which, in some instances, could be applied for their personal benefit. An idea Vice President Kamala Harris in Florida Friday lambasted.
How is it that anyone could suggest that in the midst of these atrocities, that there was any benefit to being subjected to this level of dehumanization?
In high school, the guidelines require the teaching of both acts of violence perpetrated against and by African Americans, which Florida's Education Association says diminishes an event like the 1920 Ocoee Massacre, where at least 30 African Americans were killed for attempting to vote. A volunteer member of the task force tells ABC News he stands by their work. Amid criticism, the standards gloss over the horrors of slavery.
It is the case that Africans proved resourceful, resilient, and adaptive, and were able to develop skills and aptitudes which served to their benefit.
Former Texas Congressman Will Hurd writing, slavery wasn't a jobs program that taught beneficial skills. It was literally dehumanizing and subjugated people as property because they lacked any rights or freedoms.
See, nothing but lies to keep you angry, to control you. I'd rather be enslaved than listen to that stupid Kamala Harris. I mean, it made you want to run to a plantation when she speaks. Would you rather be enslaved or have to listen to Kamala Harris? That's her name, right? Kamala Harris? Come on, man! Is that right? Hassan?
Yeah, I think Kamala.
Whatever. I mean, her last name is Harris, right?
Yeah.
Would you rather be enslaved on a plantation working out in the hot sun picking cotton or listen to her? In a cool, refreshing air condition with some Kool-Aid.
Take me outside.
I'm telling you. Isn't that amazing? And then this dumb anti-Trump rhino from Texas, Will Hurd, a former congressman, just the evil as they come. Black people, they don't want you free. They are lying to you about slavery. Even Booker T. Washington just said that. They were very talented. They learned trade. They knew how to do things. They did everything. And so naturally, they would know how to do things with slavery in it. Start their own business. They could be a great service to other companies. They don't want you to know that that came out of slavery. They want you to think that everybody, all 100% was this horrible. They're lying to you. They're lying to you. And if slavery was so bad, how come they are not whining about their life? They're doing very well. The people that are complaining about it. And there are other rhino, other than Will Hurd, a rhino, no good, evil person. There are other rhino Republicans who are jumping on with the Democrats and acting like this is such a bad thing. And remember I told you that black representatives are rhinos as well? And I told you that Tim Scott is one of them. To vote for Tim Scott, it's the same as voting for Barack Obama. There's no difference. He just has a title Republican, but inwardly he thinks like a Democrat. Inwardly he's blaming white people for everything as well. This is from, and I don't care if it's little, oh, my mama and I, we had to live in a one-room house. And that's not a reason to be the president. So AP is reporting, AP and the Washington Post is reporting that concerning this issue down in Florida, black Republicans and fellow GOP presidential hopeful continue to slam Ron DeSantis over the new black history standards in Florida. Tim Scott issued a direct rebuke to DeSantis while campaigning in Iowa, watching from CBS and CNN.
Republican presidential candidate Tim Scott criticized his opponent, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, for his state's public school curriculum on Black history, which teaches that enslaved people in America benefited from slavery because they learned critical skills.
There's no silver lining in freedom, in slavery. The truth is that anything you can learn, that any benefits that people suggest you had during slavery, you would have had as a free person. I would hope that every person in our country, and certainly running for president, would appreciate that. And listen, people have bad days. Sometimes they regret what they say, and we should ask them again to clarify their positions.
All right, you want that for president, right? You want more hell. And I understand people love their hell. Most people do. Tim Scott is right. I told you that when he spoke out saying that there was police brutality or something dumb like that. I don't remember exactly what he said. But he's a writer. He's weak. He's a mama's boy. Really. If you vote for Tim Scott, you're just going to get more of the same. Ain't nothing going to get better under him. He has no backbone. He's a mama's boy. Slavery, a lot of black people benefited from slavery. And it is Men's History Month. It's time to wake up, men. And the most hated group on this side of heaven, as I've told you before, are white men. Because they are keeping things going. You get rid of the white man, it's over. Tim Scott ain't going to do nothing. Tim Scott ain't going to do nothing. That's how you say it when you're black. Tim Scott is a beta. The most hated group of people on this side of heaven, for no reason at all. There's not one reason to be hating white people, and especially white men. They founded the greatest country on this side of heaven, and with the help of God, created the greatest country. Nobody else is doing it. But the most hated people are the ones who have made it possible for all of us to be in the greatest country on this side of heaven, even though the greatness is diminishing every day. But it's amazing. Remember when Ilhan Omar said, we should be more fearful of white men. If you don't, I will remind you from Al Jazeera. Watch this.
Conservatives in particular would say that the rise in Islamophobia is a result not of hate, but of fear, a legitimate fear, they say, of quote-unquote jihadist terrorism, whether it's Fort Hood or San Bernardino or the recent truck attack in New York. What do you say to them?
I would say our country should be more fearful of white men across our country, because they are actually causing most of the deaths within this country. We should be profiling, monitoring, and creating policies to fight the radicalization of white men.
Wow. Says the female that came here as a refugee from the Allahu Abba country. Was she afraid of the Allahu Abba men? Nobody is afraid of white people. Zero. But everybody afraid of the people of color. Have you ever noticed that? It's always the other way around. Nobody's scared of the white people. They are all afraid of the people of color. And especially the black ones. Wake up, America. If not now, when? Men, you are needed. You were created. You were ordained to be the leader. I've been saying this for 33 years, 34 years now, 33. Carl is a first-time call out of Wisconsin. Carl, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Wow. Jesse, because of time, I'm not going to hold you up. It's been a long time, man, that I've been listening to you, and everything that you've been saying is right on the button. I had to tweet you this morning just to say thank you for all that you've been doing. I've taught my nephews, my son, the song, the stand-up song. This is a true honor, honestly, to hear from you and to talk to you, so I just want to get that out of the way.
Well, thank you. I appreciate
You're
it.
amazing.
Amazing.
You're amazing, man. Now, I grew up in a beta household where the mother led the family. I've been able to overcome certain things by forgiving her, forgiving my father. I've always loved my father. I got his spirit.
Nice.
But I still struggle in the areas of daily sinning, meaning if I know that I'm of God, I'm God's son, and I still have a sinful nature, and I know I can't serve two masters, how is that possible? So I started to listen and do the silent prayer, and my thoughts have been kind of dwindling down, but they're still there. So I had ran into a situation where I'm married. You know, I got 2 children, beautiful children by my wife. And we had a situation that happened in May where it's been a power struggle over control. And I fell into the whole movie thing where, you know, you got to fight for your wife when you guys are having a disagreement. Don't do it, fellas. But I did that. And what happened was the cops were called. My wife called the cops on me because she said that I held her against her will. She said that I roughed her up. The cops immediately believed her. Now I'm in a situation where I have a felony against me. I'm a American black male that I have to identify as, but I have my own business. So now all of that's going to be, you know, put up against me. I've never had anything against my record. I had to go into my savings to get a lawyer and all that crazy crap. And for the life of me, I don't know why when I'm doing so good, or I'm appearing, or I'm hoping to get in the grace of God by walking in his image and walking in his likeness, that I'm being attacked so heavy. Why don't this woman understand that she prayed for me when she wanted me to be her husband? She chose to be my wife. But she doesn't understand the doctrines that the Bible puts. So my question to you is, why when a man of God is actually being presented, would the woman show resistance? Why does she continue resistance if you're walking like Christ? If you're doing what you have to do?
Well, you know,
I've done everything that you said, but I'm still battling.
Because what you don't know is and again, I haven't heard her side of the story, so I'm not innocent here to see it. But your wife does not believe in God, and she hates you. She picked you as her husband because you were weak. She saw the weakness in you, and for a long time, you have allowed her to control you, and now she's losing control, and she'll destroy you before she let that go. Are you able to hold on, Carl?
Yes, sir.
Let me take a quick break. When I come back, I'll come right to you. I'll go right back to you. 888-7753. 773 888 Jesse. Hake is coming in with the hate news, not the fake news, but the hate news. I'll be back in a moment. 2 more hours to go. We have a counseling service, and I have to admit, thanks to God, it is the best counseling service on this side of heaven. I counsel with men and women, families, individuals around the world. Most people are unhappy, they're miserable, they have rough lives, they're depressed, suicidal, young and old, of all races. I understand, I know why, and I do understand it. Because exactly what's happening in me is happening with everybody outside of me, inside of them. And I've noticed that with those who really, really, really want to understand, they overcome it just like that, out of one counseling session. If you need counseling, you can go to rebuildingtheman.com or call 800-411-2663. 800-411-BOND. Best counseling service on this side of heaven.
They're trying to take down our greatest president. It's a mess. Not surprising. They've been trying to do that for since the day he announced back in 2016 or 2015 June. And it's wildfire season. What a mess. And there's a Ford recall, by the way, some certain F-150 trucks, 870,000 of them, because of an electronic parking brake that can engage unexpectedly, even while being driven. So watch out, Ford drivers. This is the end of hour one of the Jesse Lee Peterson Show. JLP is back. It is Country and Western Tuesday, August 1st, 2023 AD. Happy Men's History Month, everybody. I'm wearing my "You Are a Beta Male" t-shirt. You can get yours by going to rebuildingtheman.com/stores. It is in the Society 6 JLP store, I do believe. Full moon tonight. It was really cool this morning behind clouds. A sturgeon supermoon. Sturgeon is a cool fish, I think. Will light up the sky tonight, creating a luminous spectacle for millions around the world. millions. That doesn't sound like many. This type of lunar phenomenon occurs when the moon nears its closest point to Earth while appearing full. And it only happens 3 or 4 times per year. Huh? Our greatest president, according to Commie Nonsense Network CNN, facing a swarm of criminal accusations unprecedented for an active presidential candidate. But his lead in the 2024 GOP presidential primary race, no contest, has solidified. Trump is pulling in more than 50% of support in the national primary polls, and more than all of his competitors combined. The former president's, our greatest, closest primary competitor, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis. Some of you guys like him. I do. He has fallen below 20% nationally. No other contender is at or above 10%, despite Trump's 2 indictments, and 2 so-called impeachments. Several polls show he remains competitive in the potential rematch with so-called President Sleepy Joe Biden. A poll last week had Biden and Trump tied percentage-wise, while other pollsters show Biden only narrowly ahead. Additionally, a new poll this week found Fox News viewers remain loyal to Trump, our greatest president, with only 5% of respondents who get their news from the network saying they believe that Trump has committed serious federal crimes. And it's wildfire season. U.S. wildfire season has been pacing below average, actually, in terms of acres burned so far this year. As of this week, only 1.1 million acres have burned across the country, or county? They call it county. I think that's a typo. In 2023, according to the National Interagency Fire Center, well below the 5.7 million acres that had burned to date in 2022. Maybe because it was all burnt up from 2022. While the wildfire season has started out slowly, fire officials are monitoring much of the western United States and Pacific Northwest, the beautiful Pacific Northwest, full of dumb liberals, though, where vegetation remains dry and hot, leaving room for easy wildfire spread. Canada, on the other hand, is in the middle of its worst fire season on record. More than 30 million acres of Canadian land, an area roughly the size of Mississippi, have been scorched by wildfires this year. Hundreds of Canadian fires are also spreading rounds of hazardous smoke across much of the northern tier of the United States. Many blazes are being allowed to burn unchecked. Thanks a lot, Canada. And that Ford recall, they've recalled, as I said, more than 870,000 F-150 trucks. I think that's the highest selling vehicle, maybe not, because of the electronic parking brake that could engage unexpectedly, including while the vehicle's being driven. Could cause a loss of control and potentially a crash. The recall was posted by to the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, NTSA, something like that, NHTSA recall website. Applies to some 2021 through 2023 model year F-150 trucks with single pipe exhaust systems. Ford will begin mailing recall notices to owners in September. Wow, seems like a ways off, but that's a month. 229 instances of it activating unintentionally, 19 while driving. Crazy. I'm James Hake, now into JLP, Hour 2.
Got to stand up strong, face the truth about themselves, to understand what went wrong. I know we can find a way, I know we can find a way, I know we can find a way to stand up, stand up.
Uniting the races with truth instead of dividing them with lies. We're also rebuilding the family by rebuilding the man. I am Jesse Lee Peterson. Good morning. I'm back. He's back. And it's good to be back. And it was an amazing time. I learned a lot. I saw a lot. I couldn't believe it. I was like, what the? But I am back. You can get involved by calling 888-7753, 773, 888-77-JESSE. Also, we have every way that you can watch and support the show listed on jesseleepeterson.com/show, jesseleepeterson.com/show. And you can also listen to the show on your iPhone or iPad anywhere in the whole wide world. No matter where you are or what you're doing or who you are, you can listen to the show, you can podcast the show, you can listen live by calling 641-793-1500 on your iPhone or iPad, 641-793-1500. And don't forget to follow us on rumble.com/Jesse Lee Peterson, rumble.com/Jesse Lee Peterson, and cozy.tv/JLP, cozy.tv/JLP. It is Tuesday. It's the second hour on Tuesday's show. It is Country and Western Tuesday. Bring back, oh, bring back my country to me. Bring back my country to
What the?
me. Who let the dogs out? Amazing. 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 Who let the dogs out? I was thinking of that woman, Ilhan Omar, how she said that white people are the problem, we should fear them. Can you imagine had a white woman, whether Republican, Democrat, Independent, whatever they call them, has said the same thing about black men? We should be afraid of black men. You think she'll still be in Congress? But she said that nobody doing anything about it or saying anything about it that I'm aware of. Anyway, I want to go back to Carl, first-time caller out of Wisconsin. So Carl thought he married a Christian woman. She was looking for a husband, asked the Lord for a husband. Got a husband. He has a family, a business. He made 2 babies with her. And according to Carl, this woman now is turning on him. He's waking up and overcoming being weak. She's turning on him, according to him, calling the cops on him and everything. Am I right, Carl?
Yes, sir. Oh, yeah, and I pay all the bills. So my wife don't work. She's a stay-at-home mom. I mean, I try to do everything that I can. Again, it's almost like I know that I'm doing it to myself, and that's the problem.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, why if I know what's right, why am I still being done wrong? And why am I going with it? That's the only thing. Like, I went to my daddy before I went to you, but he was in the penitentiary, you know, as a young man, so he had that mindset. So he can't really give me anything. So, you know, like other men up on here, man, we searching for like a father figure. You know what I mean? And
that's what all people are looking for, the love of a father. Yeah. And that's why they have to return to their earthly father by forgiving him and through that. But what you don't realize, why did you think that this woman was a Christian?
Because that's what she led with. But I remember you saying that you can't trust a woman that's highly educated or a Bible thumper.
Right.
And I didn't see it because at first when I came to her, I was blind. Like, I wasn't really in the Word like how I've been getting into it now. Like, I've been reading, I've been actually understanding it. I didn't know how to read the Bible. That's why I never got into it. I just always knew that I never was a sinner. I never believed that I was a sinner or anything like that.
Right.
Because I believed in the Word. I already knew that was Jesus died for my sins, past, present, and future. Why would I go with that doctrine believing that I was a sinner?
That's
right. It didn't make no sense to me. So I just never bought anything with the church or with with people talking about the Bible, but I digress. She presented herself as that, man. She came to me, man, with the sweet words, very cunning, you know, and I listened to you and Pastor Gino Jennings. You had him on the show before.
Right.
And how they both said, like, they'll come to you with words like honeycomb. And everything was so sweet, man. She gave sex out of wedlock. Everything was popping. She was so beautiful. She had a good credit score. She had her own apartment, all that good stuff. And I was just getting out of something, and I was so weak then that I got into something with her, and here I am now paying for it. And it's like, dog, I'm on Jesse Lee Peterson crying. Like a beta.
But
I'm black and slow, man, so I'm just like you. I ain't know this was going to happen.
And
Come
so,
on, man. So help me, man. Help me.
all right, so let me ask, is her name, do you have her name on any of your bank accounts or anything?
Yes. Everything. I was transparent. I never cared about money.
Well,
Because I'm
here's
not a
what I
man.
recommend you do today. I highly recommend you secretly take her name off all of the finance because she will rip you off.
I did that already.
Oh, you took her name away?
I'm not that slow. Yeah. I got my own
Nice.
account. She's mad as hell about that.
Oh,
She don't
good.
like you at all, Jesse. She don't like you at all.
You know
she know I've listened to you. She say, men are not, you think you're above me. You think you're over me. You
See
want to
that?
control me.
You are over her.
And you think, I'm like, I know this already. She wants a beta male. That's the thing. I don't want to be what she wants me to be.
And so
she used to be like this goddess thing. And I'm like, you ain't that, man.
she has never
who I
loved
am.
you, man. She just hate your weakness. She was controlling you, and now she's losing that control. And you haven't seen anything yet. It's going to get worse before it get better because she's totally losing control. Let me ask, do you own the house that you guys live in?
We're in an apartment building.
Oh, good.
I know better than to get a house with her.
So
I know that.
So you don't own the apartment, you're just renting.
I'm renting.
I highly recommend, do what you want now. I highly recommend you leave her immediately. Move out. Don't have anything to do with her. Leave her immediately because she's going to destroy you.
Now, can a beta and me talk to you real fast?
Yes.
Now, we're married, so this is where I need to navigate. We are married, and under God, you know that I took a covenant with God, and He does not ordain divorce. He frowns upon it. It was only Moses that created divorce because of our hard heart. So I say that to, how do I then overcome the notion in my mind, or do I still stick with the I'm not a sinner thought of divorcing my wife? Because she's going to stand against me in court. She's already professed. So if she's going to stand against me, how do I divorce her and my children?
One thing I know for sure.
How do I do that?
One thing I know for sure, you did not get married under the umbrella of God. It was all fake. Using God's name, but not in your heart at all. This marriage was made in pure hell, and that's why it is ended up in hell because it's never been under God. Now that you're starting to see your nature is changing. Now you'll be under the umbrella of God, but you haven't been under the umbrella of God now until you started to wake up and see where you were going wrong. You're forgiven. You're overcoming the anger. But your marriage wasn't made under God. It was made under Satan in the name of God, but it wasn't God. Because if your marriage were done under God, you would not have any of these problems at all. They wouldn't even exist. They would not even be thought of. But it's been nothing but hell because it was made in hell, but they call Satan God.
And I tell her that, but I'm misogynistic. She got the therapist even believe in her.
Oh, yeah.
And again, I pay for all of that. You know what I mean? I'm just like, I knew it was wrong because no matter what I did, I mean, literally, I pay every bill, just from insurance to her therapy sessions, for my kids. She ain't paid for a birthday gift for none of our children. I've done that. I supported my home for over the last 6 years, man. And I never got one thing. I don't get a hello when I walk through the door. I don't even get a home-cooked meal. I went on a Tucker Carlson show. I done did that. I done been everywhere. And she don't give me no love, no glory, no nothing. She don't respect me.
Because she
And I'm
hates
like,
your
well,
weakness,
damn.
man. All women hate weak, emotional men. Any man that is into emotions is a weak man. The women know that, and they draw you in by pretending to be something that they're not, be exactly what you're looking for, and they destroy you. But she saw your weakness a mile away. She went for it.
Okay, and just so I'm clear, because like I said, just like you, I'm black and slow. So immediately you say to leave the house, right?
I'll be
Once
done
I leave
with
the house, it's going to cause a bigger hell because I told you I got to go to court with her.
But if you stay in there, it's going to be the greater hell. Why not be glad to see now and see what you're dealing with, and then get away from it and get away from? Why would you want to stay in the house with her?
It's not that I want to stay in the house with her, Jesse. It's just, well, financially, I'm burdened because I can't make a move or such, and I'm not going home to mom. I ain't doing that. That's just the ultimate deal.
That's right.
I know that I'm wrong, and I know she can see my weakness. It's almost like, well, damn, if I'm sharp. If I know that I'm weak right here, what if I know I don't have the financial means to move around? Then do I just go in the next room, maybe? Because that's what we've been doing. I've just been in the next room. I don't
Oh,
need the
okay.
next room, I don't need nothing.
Well, do that, but have nothing to do with her. But stay in the next room and see this thing too. Let me tell you about knowing that you're weak. All right.
Yeah.
You see that you're weak now, right?
Yes.
That's all you need to do about that. Do nothing else about that, but do the silent prayer and watch the thoughts and emotions. Let them pass through. Don't hold on to them. And the weakness would disappear, and strength and wisdom, which are both the same, will come to the forefront. But don't try to make yourself strong because it's spiritual and there's nothing you can do about it. You just need to see it. And you're not in denial about it. When you see it, you shall be made strong. Spiritually, it's going to happen.
Okay, can I do one more thing and I'm going to let you go?
I just want you to understand there's nothing you can do about seeing that you're weak. The problem before, you didn't see that you were weak, or even if you saw it, you made up an excuse for it. But now it's enough to see it and be grateful that you see it. Be grateful you see the hell in this woman, and just be grateful. And I'm telling you, man, this thing will work out in ways that you never imagined.
Oh, I believe it. I believe it. And with that being said, I have a question for you.
Yes.
Or it might be a biblical question for you later on. I was going to ask you, is it better to believe in God or to know God? Because I don't believe in God anymore. I'm starting to feel like I just need to know Him.
You need to know your Father. My children shall know me, not believe in Him. Everyone that says they believe in God has no idea about God. They do not know Him.
They doubt Him.
They only believe in an idea about God, and all ideas about God are wrong. That doesn't mean you know Him. It doesn't mean you believe in Him. It's just a word. So it's best to know Him.
Absolutely. Jesse, man, thank you for everything, man. It's God in Christ, Christ over man, man head of woman, woman over children. Anything outside of that is not a family.
That's right.
I understand exactly what you're saying.
That's
and
right.
I see it. And if she listening to this right now, Kiera, I promise you, you will not win. You will not win. It's not going to happen, baby. I got JLP up on my side. I got everybody around me. So, into the betas, we on the alpha males. Let's go, baby.
And let me tell you this too, Carl. Let me tell you this.
Yeah.
Don't fight with her. Don't argue with her. Don't get into a conversation with her at all, because you're fighting with the devil, and the devil want you to fight, and it'll just be two devils
He's knocking me out
fighting.
like Earl Spence.
I'm sorry?
He's knocking me out like Earl Spence. I said he's knocking me around like Earl Spence right now.
Yeah.
That's a boxer that just got beat up over the weekend.
Oh, okay.
The devil he's heavy, man. He's present in our home.
Yeah.
And I tried to help her overcome, but
You can't help her overcome it. She doesn't want to overcome.
That's it. She said that she forgave her mom and her dad, but I don't believe it.
Well,
she wouldn't treat me like this.
If she didn't have hatred in her heart, she would not be treating you this way for sure.
Absolutely.
She would be grateful.
You right, man.
But listen, though.
It's just confirmation.
Don't argue with the devil in thought. Let whatever the devil tells you about the situation, Don't believe it. Let it all pass. You'll be able to see the reality of what's going on, and seeing the reality will guide you into what to do. But do not argue with this woman. Don't try to prove anything to her. And since you can't move, just go to your room, go to work, and do your thing. But don't argue with her. Stay with the silent prayer, and you'll see how to overcome all things.
Morning, noon, and night, I do. Happy Men's History Month, Jeff.
Oh, happy man, History Month. I wish you well with this. Let me know how it goes, all right?
Yes, sir. I love you guys, man. Thank you for everything that y'all do, man. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome. Thank you.
All right, brother.
All right. Amazing. 888-7753-773. What a mess, huh? Let me go to Caesar, a first-time call out of Texas. Caesar, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hey, how's it going, Jesse?
All is well, sir.
Hey, I've been listening to you for maybe 3-4 months, but I don't know, it's kind of crazy because everything that you speak resonates with me. I feel like I had like all the pieces to the puzzle, and you're just kind of helping me connect them. But I just had a question for you or some advice. I'm overcoming my anger. I already forgave my mother. I haven't had a chance to forgive my father since he's in Mexico right now. So I'm waiting for him to come back so I can have that talk with him. But I feel like that anger has basically left. You know, I don't really get mad at anything. But the only thing that still kind of gets me upset or frustrates me, I guess you would say, is maybe around like 4 months ago, I had a friend who was kind of going through a tough time. He asked me for help. He asked if he could move in with me. And one thing that I kind of learned growing up from my father was never ask for handouts, never beg for help. You know, he always showed me to wake up in the morning, get to work. He never called off, never used sick days. He just worked. He was a hard-working man. And that's kind of how I am. So it was kind of like if he showed up to the house, we'd get up off the couch, clean our room, make sure he didn't see us laying around. If he saw us laying around, we wouldn't want to hear what he'd have to say. So that's kind of how I grew up. So I told my friend, all right, yeah, you can move in with me, but I let him know from the beginning, hey, I don't need your help. I don't, he was kind of asking like, well, if I move in with you, I'll help you with half the bills. I'll help you with half the rent, half everything, right? And I told him, I don't need any of that. I don't need help with rent. I don't need help with bills. I was like, but I'll let you in just because I used to live far from my job, and he always offered to, since I lived far from my job, he always used to tell me, hey, you can stay, man. You can stay the night. I know you live about an hour away, and I never would take his offer. I would never take his offer. I'd always drive an hour home. I wouldn't care. But since he did that for me, I opened my doors for him. And he moved in, and we agreed, he was going to go half on everything, even though I told him I didn't need his help. I'm just doing it to be, a good friend to you. And maybe a week, 2 weeks into him moving in, he lost his job. So now it's kind of like I expected him to pay it, and I've been paying everything. He just recently got a job, and he's been staying here for like 3-4 months. And that's the only thing that kind of frustrates me because he would just lay around. Like, he didn't have a job. He wouldn't. If I lost my job, I don't care if I'm working at Taco Bell, Burger King. I'm working anything until I can find the job that I want.
Yeah.
But he was kind of just waiting around for that perfect opportunity, that perfect job, for it to land, right at his feet, for him to get up and, go and do it. But now I'm kind of like at the point where, I don't know, I feel bad, but I kind of want to kick him out, even though he got the job now, But he kind of owes me money. So now
he kind of owe you, or he does owe you?
No, he does owe me.
Okay.
Yeah, because like I said, we agreed, and even though I told him I didn't need his help,
But why would
since
you
that's
let
the-
somebody move in your house and tell them, I don't need you to pay anything, you ain't got to do nothing? That's what mothers do to sons. That's why she destroyed him. Why would you not require he pay something?
No. The agreement was he was going to pay half of everything. But I just told him that I'm just opening my door for you because you've offered for me to stay at your house before, even though I never took his offer up on it. But I just kind of wanted to let it be known from the beginning, look, I don't need you to move in with me. I don't want you to move in with me. The only reason I'm letting you move in is because you're, out of luck right now. I think he said he was sleeping on the floor at his brother's house or in the garage or something like that, right? So I was just like, all right, this dude opened his door for me. Even though I never took his offer up on it, I just let it be known. Look, I don't need your help. but I'm
Why
gonna
did
be a
you
good
not
friend.
put him out when he was just laying around doing nothing? Why you didn't throw him out then?
Well, I would tell him, I'd be like, hey, man, I know, you're waiting for that perfect opportunity, but what are you doing? He's like, I'm putting in applications. I got an interview, this and that. And I just kind of felt bad of kicking somebody out.
And
not
why?
knowing they-
Why? Look what your emotions got you into. Emotions
you're
are
right.
evil. When you're controlled by emotions, you're going to always make the wrong decision.
Yeah, well, now he has a job, so.
Do you understand that?
Yeah. That's what my whole, I was just stuck on because that's the last. Nothing else upsets me.
Your question for me is what?
Should I just kick him out or what?
Put him out today.
All right.
Just
Okay,
don't.
well-
Just don't resent him, because it's your fault that you allow him to stay there, especially when he wasn't working or doing anything. It's your
And I told
fault
him
you
that.
allow him to do that. So he see your weakness, and now he's controlling you.
Yeah, and I even told him that. Myself. I was like, look, man, I at one point I was upset that you weren't paying rent or whatever because I knew that was all in me, I knew that was the emotion coming from me.
Yeah.
And I told him, hey, man, I know that at one point, because I looked at you as a friend, I expected you, to hold your end, and you haven't. I was like, but now I don't really feel that. Because I used to ask him, hey, man, you got rent, you got electric, you got, something. Do you have anything?
But
Because
listen, it's your fault. And you allowed that. It's all in you, not him. It's his fault that he took advantage of you in that way, but it's your fault that you allowed all that to happen. So it just means that there are things inside of you that you need to work on and overcome. Because if you had not been weak and emotional, there's no way you would even allow him to stay there while he wasn't working, knowing he wasn't doing it. Because you can get a job, as you said, you can get a job anywhere, man, especially nowadays.
Yeah, especially in Texas. And that's kind of me, there's been times where I worked a job that I didn't want to work, but I'd rather work
me
that
too.
than be without money.
Yeah. Yeah. And so your question for me is what?
Yeah, I guess just should I feel bad or do I just kick him out today, even though he?
You haven't had enough of feeling bad. You see what feeling bad has done for you, right?
Yeah.
Who are you that you should feel bad for him? Who are you?
Should I give him But if he has to take his things out,
What
how do I
give
tell him
you
to
the
take
right to feel bad for him?
I don't have the right.
So why are you doing that?
I don't know.
Are you doing the silent prayer?
Yeah.
Every day?
Every day.
Every night?
Every night.
All right.
Well,
then.
I work night shift, so it's kind of weird to me because I'll get off at 6 o'clock in the morning, and I probably won't go to bed till
Well, whenever you go to bed, make sure you do it, and then during the day, practice. But listen, you said that. Even if he can stay with his brother in the garage, whatever, that's on him. But he got to go. Don't resent him because it's not his fault that you allow him to use you in that way. It's your fault.
Right.
So don't be angry. Just learn from it. Learn, understand from the situation, but don't resent it, and you will never repeat it. And there's no such thing as a friend. The word is just a word, just like the word racism. It's not even real. It's just a made-up word to control you with.
Right. Yeah. And I kind of understood that because I used to move around a lot, and I never had friends or what you
Right.
would call friends.
Yeah.
I would always I never got attached to anybody. I never would ask to hang out with anybody. Like
Beautiful.
That's not me. Like I don't need people around me. I've always been a loner, so to say, and I've always been able to do things on my own. So I never expected it, anything from anybody, but since I opened my door up for him, it's kind of like, all right, it was kind of more like an agreement.
What's wrong with telling him he got to go today?
I mean, I guess there ain't really nothing. I'm waiting for the 3rd because on the 3rd is a month rent, and I'm expecting some money, and then after that I was going to tell him to leave. So that way at least I got some money back,
But what makes you think he's going to give you any money?
He gave me some money a couple weeks ago because he just got a job. I'm saying he just got a job, so he gave me money as soon as he got a job. So he gave me some money, and now this month I'm expecting money. And if he didn't give me no money, I was gonna kick him out that same moment.
What day?
But if he gave me the 3rd.
The 3rd of this month?
Yeah.
That's tomorrow.
Is it?
Is that tomorrow or the day after?
I think 2 days. I think it's like 2 days.
Oh,
so I was kind of waiting
Thursday.
for some money. Yeah.
Which is
So I was trying to get some of that money, and then I was gonna tell him, hey man, I don't think this is gonna work out. You might as well start. But I was gonna tell him.
Here's what I recommend: rather than playing that game, because you want to be honest, you want to be right with him, right? So just say, hey, when you get paid Thursday, you got to go, and then I know, and see if he pay you. He knows that he owe you money, right? And if he doesn't pay you, that shows you the character that he really has. That way, you can be done with him.
Oh yeah, I'm not. I don't expect him I don't expect that money, and even if it wasn't coming on the 3rd, I wasn't gonna feel no way about it. I was just kind of hoping that I did get something. But I'll probably just do that.
But hoping that you got something is expecting something.
Yeah. But I guess I wasn't looking at it I wouldn't have been mad. I kind of almost expected that he wouldn't,
So why not let him know today that he has to move on Thursday when he get paid, so he'll be aware of it?
I should, right?
No, I'm asking, why don't you do it that way? Give him that little notice that you're getting paid. Let him know today, Thursday, you're out. You got to go.
All right. Yeah, I'll talk to him. And it's I don't like to text. That's the thing, is that we don't really get to see each other. I'd rather talk to you, face to face and tell you myself, but our schedules the way they are, we never are around each other.
Can't you FaceTime with him?
Yeah, I can FaceTime him.
FaceTime him so you can be looking at him and just say, hey, I'm giving you a notice when you get paid Thursday, you got to move out.
All right.
And don't argue with him about it or anything. Just tell him. He already understands. He knows why.
Yeah, because he would always tell me, hey, if you want to kick me out, kick me out and this and that. But I kind of looked at it.
But you being like a little woman and operating from emotions.
Yeah, you're right.
So do what you want, but I highly recommend you let him know today. He got to go on Thursday. If he give you some money, that's fine. If he doesn't, that's fine. At least you have your peace, and you can bring your home the way you want it.
Yeah, I agree.
All right?
All right. Appreciate it, Jesse.
And whatever thoughts and emotions are telling you, you let that pass. Because if you follow that, you're going to get deeper in trouble.
Yeah, I kind of realized that it's easy for me to be in the present. I don't really get into my head.
Yeah.
The only time that I really do get into my thoughts is when I'm taking a shower. I don't know why. Maybe I'm just taking a shower and I'm just in there. I don't know why. That's the only time
Interesting
that
things happen in the shower, that's for sure. Thank you, man.
All right.
I wish you well.
Jesse.
Okay, back in a moment.
I totally disagree with the way things are going, but you can't be angry because that's what the enemy wants. He wants to control you. They do things to make you mad so they can control you. It's like being married. And the wife would do things to make you mad, or she'll do things to make you feel good. And men do that to women too when they want something from the woman, especially sex. They'll make her feel good or they'll make her angry. And the woman's gonna have to say, you don't want to be angry. You want to speak up. You want to disagree with what's going on. It's wrong, but do not be angry. Then you won't have fear. You won't have doubt. You won't have worries. You'll be able to see, but you gotta stay away from anger. That's why you must forgive your mothers and your fathers so that you can overcome the spirit of anger. It's a spirit and it's wicked. nothing good in anger because it has no love, folks. You need love to defeat evil. And love is not a weakness, it's a strength. It's from God, it's His nature.
Hello, how are you? I'm living on the moon. I'm calling from a telephone inside of a saloon. The only other person here left many years ago. And now I sit here at the bar feeling so alone. I've read all of the books I have and walked the planet round, but still the thing I'm looking for refuses to be found, except this clanging deep regret. Oh, I am such a fool, a man who wanted quiet, so he went up to the moon.
Okay, welcome back. 888-7753-773. 888-77-JESSE. Jesse. So the Hake report is coming up at 9 a.m. this morning from 9 to 11. Hake. HAKE report.com/Jesse Lee Peters from 9 to 11 a.m. Pacific time. And then at 11, the Joel Friday TV is at 11 a.m. this morning, every Tuesday. He black. And at 12 noon, the American Anchor Baby. He ain't the American Anchor Baby for nothing. He is the number one American Anchor Baby. They don't make them like that anymore. Making America Great Again. He's on at 12 noon, Monday through Thursday, and Friday, and sometime on Saturday at 4 p.m. Pacific time. So a nice little lineup for you. Amazing team. And we're building a network, so you're gonna be hearing about other new come on hosts on the network here, all right? So let's do this. Super chat. Super chat.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning, Super Chatters.
On Streamlabs yesterday.
Happy Men's History Month.
Thank you. Happy Men's History Month to you.
Yeah. Happy Men's History Month, folks. August is Men's History Month.
Yesterday, we were guest hosting the experts. We, the experts, were guest hosting the JLP show. Right. And Linya and Chin sent a couple of super chats related.
Who were guest hosting?
The experts.
All you guys
Hassan, Hake, Sean, and American Anchor Baby.
Nice.
Yep.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Making it happen. Thank you.
And we were discussing genetics, how genetics may or may not affect how the races act. The different races act. Like some people think that the reason that blacks tend to be more violent per capita than other races, they chalk it up to genetics.
It ain't got nothing to do with genetics.
Well,
it's the heart.
Yeah.
Really. It ain't got nothing to do with no genetic.
That's what one of the black callers called in and said.
That it has something to do with genetics?
No, he said that it had to do with anger.
It is. 100% anger.
So Linya and Chin.
People in the hell, miserable people love and inflict the hell on other people.
Right.
That's how they get a false sense of life.
Linya and Chin on Streamlabs says, Hassan, it's less a genetic expression than it is of spirit, a.k.a. intent. Every people's, or so-called race, has a spiritual imprint, and that's what manifests gene expression. Discrepancy falls as your rise or fall in class desire defines gene expression. Nice.
Amazing. Thank you.
He follows up saying, Sean, and they also talked about IQ. Sean, my IQ is only 72, says Linya and Chin. Yet Spock's guiding me at age 4. Let me know calmness is the key. Spock is that guy from Star Trek who didn't react to the stuff.
Where is he now?
He died
He did.
But he guided Lin Yan Chin at age 4 watching the TV. Lin Yan Chin was raised by the TV. It alters leverage on available IQ. Calmness does, he says. This is why I resonate with JLP's so-called silent prayer as a primer for cognitive coherence. It overclocks function. Nice. Thank you, Lin Yan Chin.
Amazing. Thank you.
Coldberger Art bought 5 coffees. Hey, great.
Buy me a coffee.
Indeed. .com/JLP Talk. Coldberger Art bought 5 coffees saying, hey, great service from Doug. Fun stuff.
Oh, yeah.
On church,
I saw some of that.
Church with J.C. Lee Peterson. Doug hosted it.
How did you do?
He did great. It was fun.
Oh, yeah?
Yep.
Why are you laughing?
Because you're laughing.
What?
Huh?
What?
Oh?
Thank you. Yeah, it was amazing. I saw a lot. I didn't see the whole thing because of my schedule down there, but I saw some of it for sure. Thank you, Doc.
And this morning, Lin Yan Chin, you can chime in if you want to help read these, Hassan. But Lin Yan Chin.
I thought he had fallen asleep.
No, he's chilling.
Isn't that the same as falling asleep?
I'm just monitoring all the other important technical things.
Go ahead.
Lin Yan Chin says on Streamlabs, this is this morning, JLP was successfully reprogrammed by the MIB after he and Will Smith went to save the world. Don't believe his cover story. He was fighting space aliens that were so terrifying he had to flashy thing his memories away. Hassan's dog told me so. It's E.T.
What?
MIB is short for Men in Black.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Speaking of movies.
Yeah.
Carver bought a coffee.
Buy me a coffee.
.com/JLP Talk.
Are you going to watch that movie?
Eventually, I'm sure.
It is.
No one can predict the future, but hopefully.
When you watch it, you don't want anyone talking,
right?
Interrupting, or anything.
Okay.
It reminds me of when I watched The Revolver. You don't want any interruption.
Yeah.
That's how it was with The Revolver.
True. Revolver, not the revolver.
Oh, yeah, Revolver. What happens when you don't pay for an exorcism? You get repossessed.
Terrible.
Sean's like, what happened, my producer? What happens when you don't pay for an exorcism? You get repossessed.
That sounds like a dad joke. White History Month was last month, man. I guess it's Men's History Month.
That's a white joke for sure.
Yeah. Carver bought a coffee saying, welcome back, Jesse. Always like when you guys talk about movies. Gonna watch Pope's Exorcist tonight.
Oh, good. Wow. Remember, no interrupt. I had to rewind, and I was sitting there by myself, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I had to rewind over and over because it was just so interesting.
So you were rewinding, watching it on the airplane?
Yeah.
Nice.
And it all made sense to the movie did to me.
And with all that rewinding, you finished the movie still?
Barely. But just think, the movie is like an hour or something.
Usually it's like 90 minutes or 2 hours.
The flight was like almost 4 hours, I think.
Oh, nice.
Definitely 3 hours or something.
Okay.
But I kept rewinding until almost took me the whole high up in the hours to fly to watch it. And there were so many movies to pick from, to choose, right? And I just kept scrolling. I finally saw that one, and it got my attention. Because everything else just seemed like a bunch of junk.
Yeah. Usually it is. Probably about right.
Yeah. Anyway.
A couple weeks ago, Carver continues, I watched Midnight in Paris. Nice little movie about living in the imagination versus the present and ego tripping. Check it out sometime, he says.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Diane D with a diamond. Welcome back, Jesse.
Welcome back. Thank you. I met a lot of folks out there who watch the show, and hello to them, too. It's nice meeting everybody. Really. Thank you.
On D Live, Stan 60 Nan donated a ninja guinea, saying it seems JPL headed west, made a left turn, and headed south into Mexico instead. What the? Ooh la la.
Mamma mia. Thank you.
Coffee Talk with Sandra says, with a diamond, welcome back, Jesse.
Thank you.
Hola. Hey, she continues with a couple of another diamonds. Hake and all did a great job! Exclamation mark! Exclamation mark!
Nice.
You were missed, Jesse.
Thank you. I missed doing the show too, but I had to do what I had to do. But thank you so much.
Riley JM on Streamlabs, JesseLeePeterson.live. He gives another movie tip talking about stuff, talking about the simple farm life in Austria. Slow movie, 3 hours long, and talking about World War II.
Nice.
So nice. Thank you, Riley JM, for the tip.
Thank you.
Lin Yen Shin says slavery was a net loss for the white man's economy and quality of life, yet helped uplift us blacks as it lined the pockets of the Pharisees pretending to be white when they are actually media masters who can't be directly mentioned without punishment, says Lin Yen Shin.
Amazing. Thank you.
Nice.
That's deep.
And thank you, guys. Oh, no, Mike Young gave a super chat. One more. Hey, Jesse. Welcome back. I was wondering what you think about Jason Aldean's Try That in a Small Town song that's been making the headlines and trending lately in people's conversation. I don't even know if you've heard of it.
The song?
Yeah.
Well, I seen it. I haven't heard the whole song.
You've seen coverage about it.
Lots of coverage about it. And the song is doing well in spite of the haters of God trying to stop it. It's doing very well, so right on.
In fact, they're helping it because I wouldn't have known about it had it not been for the complainers.
Right, I wouldn't have known about it either.
That's called signal boosting.
And there, according to one report I saw, there are at least 2 more country western songs that climbing the chart as a result of the attack on this one.
Sweet.
Yep.
And one more from Prepham Paul. I want to call it Prepham Paul, but I think it's Prepham Paul. Welcome back, JLP. This is on Rumble. I missed your flight, I guess, but I sent you a letter with the eagle flag wings I showed you before. My mornings are complete again. Not that the experts wasn't good, but...
Thank you. They sent me a letter?
Yeah, with the eagle flag wings.
Oh, okay.
That he showed you before, he says.
Nice.
Nice.
He showed it to me?
According to him, yeah.
So when did you send the letter? While I was away?
Perhaps so.
Okay, I'll check for it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Amazing.
Amazing.
And now, thank you guys. Oh, one more. Revelation, spelled funny. Bought 3 coffees saying thank you for doing God's work.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
And Star Sion said, Jesse, you better be traveling with your male friends. Omar should be in jail for her immigration fraud she has committed out in the open, but she's protected by Obama and his minions. Her own Somalian people everywhere don't even like her. All she's doing is talking about how horrible white people are when they're the ones who brought her over here from Kenya refugee camp and gave her opportunity, even though Obama likes taking credit for dumping them in sanctuary cities. LOL, lots of laughs, Jesse. While you were away, your staff were being lazy, especially Hank. I'm kidding. Sloth, and she gave a sloth emoji and a smiling, toothy smile.
Amazing.
Laughing emoji.
Nice.
Nice.
Thank you.
And thank you, guys. That's all for now.
Amazing. Nice. So, do I look blacker?
Maybe so. I can't tell.
You can't tell because I already black.
You're wearing a bright yellow shirt, sort of bright.
Right.
And with the lights shining in my eyes, you do look black, but I can't tell that you're any blacker.
Do I look blacker?
How about me?
Yeah, nice little tan.
Yeah. Huh?
Got a little sun.
Blacks don't have tans. They're already past tan.
And the reason I ask, because it was hotter than 90 going north down there.
How about humid?
And that's even worse.
Yeah.
It was so hot, you just want to slap you. You want to hurt somebody.
That's why I'm glad that we're still in LA right now. No matter how dirty it is and disgusting and crime-ridden, so far. I don't believe in that. I don't believe in knocking on particle board. But
well, you just knocked.
I know. I just did it for show. I still like how it's not humid here.
It was so hot, and I turned I didn't recognize myself one day I was so black. I was like, who is that?
Your face does look darker than your arms for some reason.
Right. My face was like all black. And then I'm like, what the? And it was hotter than, man, you'd be sweating. Gnats everywhere. You know what a gnat is?
Gnats. Nasty.
Do you know what a gnat is, Hassan?
I do.
And they were like everywhere. You be fanning. They try to get in your ear. Gnats.
No wonder the horsies go.
And be trying to fly them off with his tail.
Yeah.
What about any fireflies at night? Night flies.
Those are cool.
Yeah. I didn't see
Those are
any
less
this
obnoxious.
time. Right. But the gnats are held to pay. I bet you a lot of people eat gnats because there's so many they go in your mouth.
Right.
Amazing.
Sometimes they go in your eyes.
Did you ask what about you?
Yeah, how about me? Do I look blacker?
You look darker for sure.
Yeah, I've been getting sunshine.
Yeah, it definitely look. Because before you look real white.
Yeah.
You were whiter than Sean almost.
Yeah, I stayed inside.
And it takes a lot to get whiter than Sean, my producer.
Right.
Sean is like white.
Nice.
Clear.
He got
Real
some
white.
sun. He got burned again too, I think. Maybe.
Oh yeah? Where? On his arm or something?
Face.
I don't see it.
Maybe I was imagining things. Maybe he just washed his face and it was kind of red.
I mean, anyway, thank you, Hake.
Yeah, thank you.
I appreciate it. Let me go to Chen, a first-time call out of California. Chen, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Thanks, Jesse. How you doing?
All is well, sir.
You know, I was just thinking last night, and I realized that the whole global warming thing
Yeah.
and the whole flat Earth thing, they're so similar. Because when you look down into it, at the information they both have, it can't be verified. None of it can be verified. Like
Right.
you can open your eyes
Yeah.
and look, and you can't see any of it.
That's
And,
a very good point, man.
And you know, that's why. Go ahead.
No, finish your point.
And that's why when you debate people about it, they have to get emotional because that's all they have.
Good point. I was on the plane last night, and they show how on the computer, on the TV screen there, you can see where the plane takes off from, and then on the way to California, and it was traveling around the Earth, and I'm like, look, the Earth is round, not flat. But you make a good point. It can't be proven. And this whole global warming thing, it's just all about the money and all that, man. It's not about what's real or what's not real.
That's right. And look at global warming. There's no laboratory experiment that proves it.
Yeah.
Like, that all they have, it only exists in their books that they write. And they get paid a lot of money to write those books.
A lot of it, man.
And the same people that are paying them that money and saying we got this problem, they have all these mansions on the waterfront.
Yep. What a mess, huh?
Right.
But that's why I encourage people to become thinkers for themselves, to be individuals, so that they can know what's true and what's not. Because when you become an individual, you are taking care of you. You're seeing what's going on with you, and that way you can't be easily deceived by other people.
That's right.
Amazing. Thank you for that, Chen.
That's right.
You're absolutely right,
You're
man.
welcome.
I appreciate that.
Thanks, Jesse.
All right, buddy. Amazing. So I want to just play this really fast for you, then I get back to your callers and super chat. I mentioned to you the most hated group on this side of heaven are white men. And then because they don't hate the white woman as much as they hate the white man, because they can't control the man, but they can control the women. And it's not that they love the white women, it's just that they already have control over them, right? Because women are emotional. And they already control them. And again, for those who are just tuning in, I want you to hear what Ilhan Omar had to say about white men. She said, some of you might remember when Ilhan Omar said, we should be more fearful of white men. Remind you, this woman came in from an Allah Abba country. She's supposed to be a refugee. They let her into our country, and then they let her work in our government. The enemy is running our government. Can you believe that? They don't tell them what's going on. And they going after Joe Biden and his son and the Great White Hope and everybody. But Ilhan Omar and that other stupid woman from another country, and then nothing. Absolute nothing. Watch this where she speak about how we should be afraid of white men from Al Jazeera.
Conservatives in particular would say that the rise in Islamophobia is a result not of hate, but of fear, a legitimate fear, they say, of quote-unquote jihadist terrorism, whether it's Fort Hood or San Bernardino or the recent truck attack in New York. What do you say to them?
I would say our country should be more fearful of white men across our country, because they are actually causing most of the deaths within this country. We should be profiling, monitoring, and creating policies to fight the radicalization of white men.
Wow. Think about that. She, a so-called congressman, she is saying that. Nobody says anything. Can a white woman sit there and say the same thing about the blacks or any other race? Why is she allowed? And why doesn't she go back to her Allahu Akbar country? She's afraid of the whites, white men. She ain't that afraid. Because why not go back to Allahu Akbar land, where she's supposed to have been a refugee? That's evil. That's an evil, nasty woman, female, that you've allowed into our government. You've allowed into our government. She's in the white man's country, founded, built by white men. They helped her to get here, and now she's turned on them. Where's the gratefulness? Where's the love? The AP is reporting that the Congressional Black Caucus is pushing the White House, Justice Department, and the Department of Education to adopt an aggressive legal strategy to scrutinize recent changes to the Florida's Black History curriculum. What? Oh my God, I was trying to get to it before the break. I gotta take a break. When I come back, I'll play that for you, your phone calls. White men, white people, in your own land, you are hated. And yet you let these people stay here. And you keep bringing them in. You love your hell. You love your misery. I got to take a break. One more hour to go. The Hake report, the hate news, not the fake news, but the hate news is coming up. I'll be back in a moment. You can't run from evil within yourself or outside of self. You got to deal with it. And you need good in order to deal with evil. And God is good. You need to return to the Father. And you'll see within you, he will fight the battle for you. And he will fight it without, because he will show you how to deal with it. And you will have no fear. Love God with all your heart, all your soul, all your might, along with nothing else. Nothing else means yourself, your children, your wife, your things, your ego, your reputation, and all that. You can't care about any of that. The children of anger will use it to control you. But if you love God, he will renew your mind, and none of those things will be before him. And so when they go after you, oh, well, you may take my body, you may take my things, but you're not going to take my soul. And that's a true reality.
Dead actors. People have died. Oh, and then there's a mess going on with Niger and the United States. Globo Homo, right? And the Space Force station is staying in Colorado, not moving to Alabama like Trump wanted to make it do. Beautiful Alabama, staying in dirty Colorado. What a shame. This is the end of hour 2 of the Jesse Lee Peterson Show. It is Tuesday, Country and Western Tuesday, August 1st, Men's History Month, 2023 AD. Stay tuned for Hour 3. JLP will be right back to your calls. There is one line open. But first, Hake News, not fake news. After the Jesse Lee Peterson Show, the Hake Report from 9 to 11 Pacific Time. From 11 to 12 is Joel Friday TV on YouTube. And from 12 to however long, American Anchor Baby, Monday through Thursday. And then on Fridays, he's live at 4 p.m. There is a men's forum first Thursday of the month. That's the 3rd of August, 7 p.m. at Bond in Los Angeles. Make sure that you join us for the men's forum, guys, for men only, first Thursdays of the month, 7 p.m. at Bond in Los Angeles. Not recorded, not streamed, private, and a highlight of the month. Women's forums, typically 3rd Thursday of the month. RebuildingTheMan.com/events. Space Force stays in gay liberal Colorado. I say that because their governor is one of those. Sleepy Joe Biden, the so-called president, has decided that the headquarters of U.S. Space Command, I guess that's Space Force, right, will remain in Colorado and not move to Alabama, reversing a decision by our greatest president, Donald J. Trump. But the Air Force, okay, so U.S. Space Command is currently housed in Colorado Springs, but the Air Force recommended near the end of Trump's presidency that it be moved to Huntsville, Alabama. According to a U.S. official, several issues factored in Sleepy Joe's decision, including a quality of life for service members and families, including quality of schools and military housing. So he doesn't love the beautiful South. He hates the beautiful South, I guess. But the official added that the most significant factor considered was impact to operational readiness, as if they want us to be operationally ready with their transgenders and female military so-called leaders and soldiers. Give me a break. To confront the space-enabled threats during the critical time in this dynamic security environment. Oh yeah, because he's poking the bear known as Russia, huh? The move will likely anger Republican Senator Tommy Tuberville, that is, of Alabama, who continues to hold up more than 300 military nominations over the Pentagon's abortion policy. Nice. Good job, Tommy Tuberville, I guess. Niger. U.S. troops in Niger have been restricted, according to Commie Nonsense Network, to an American military base in the country as the Sleepy Joe Biden administration works to restore democratically elected President Mohamed Bazoum to power. Bazoum was reportedly seized by members of the Presidential Guard on Wednesday, sparking international condemnation and renewed uncertainty in a volatile part of Africa, beset by coups and militant extremism, so-called extremism. The U.S. has not yet formally decided if the situation constitutes a coup, designation that would require the U.S. to cut foreign and military assistance to the Nigerian government, which could have serious consequences for the fight against so-called terrorism and stability in the region. Meanwhile, France is preparing to evacuate their citizens today from Niger due to the situation. Oh, maybe not from Niger. Niamey, where maybe that's in Niger. I don't know geography. Pro-military supporters continue to rally outside the French embassy in the Nigerian capital. Oh, okay. Hake. According to the French Foreign Ministry. Pee Wee Herman, Paul Rubens, the actor who found fame as the quirky man-child, CNN calls it that, character Pee Wee Herman has died following a private battle with cancer. His publicist announced Monday he was the tender age of 70 years old, 70. His popular series, Pee Wee's Playhouse, earned 22 Emmy nominations during its run in CBS from 1986 to 1991, nominated for 14 Emmy Awards during his career, winning twice. And he was kind of edgy and dirty, in my opinion. There's another guy who some think may have committed suicide a couple of weeks after his dad died. He was in that dirty show, Euphoria. I'm James Hake.
Stand up strong, face the truth about themselves, to understand what went wrong. I know we can find a way, I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way to stand up, stand up, stand up.
Uniting the races with truth instead of dividing them with lies. We're also rebuilding the family by rebuilding the man. I am Jesse Lee Peterson. Welcome to this third hour of the show already. You can get involved by calling 888-77-53773. 888-77-JESSE. Jesse. Did I tell you I have a brand new biblical question for this week? I don't think so. I don't think I said it in the first 2 hours of the show today. Do you see, brand new biblical question, do you see what you do to yourself, or do you only see what others do to you? Do you see what you do to yourself, or do you only see what others do to you? That is an amazing question. We have every way that you can watch and support the show listed on jesseleepeterson.com/show. jesseleepeterson.com/show. And you can listen to the show anywhere in the world. If you're busy, working out, whatever you might be doing, and you can't sit and watch it, you can podcast, of course, on your iPhone or iPad by calling 641-793-1500. 641-793-1500. And don't forget to follow us on rumble.com/Jesse Lee Peterson and cozy.tv/JLP. cozy.tv/JLP. It's Tuesday. The last hour of the Tuesday show every Tuesday is Country and Western Tuesday. When I was a little bitty baby, my mama used to rock me in her cradle in that old cotton field back home. It was down in Louisiana, just about a mile from Texas County, in that old cotton field back home. Amazing! Country and Western Tuesday. Amazing. Country Western Tuesday. One line open at 888-7753-773. 888-77-JESSE. I mentioned to you earlier about down in Florida, they are trying to teach the students the truth about slavery, and that, according to the reports, that slavery wasn't all bad. The blacks learned a trade from it. They were able to go and take care of themselves as a result of it. And that is the truth. And no, the black race hustlers are upset about that, including Tim Scott and others, so-called Republicans. What the? They don't want you to be free. Well, according to the AP, the Congressional Black Caucus is pushing the White House, Justice Department, and the Department of Education to adopt an aggressive legal strategy to scrutinize recent changes to Florida's Black History curriculum. Watch this from MSNBC.
Members of the Congressional Black Caucus did not hold back at a press conference on the state of race in America earlier this week on Capitol Hill. The group highlighted a slew of right-wing attacks on blackness and civil rights, like the ideologically driven Supreme Court ruling that put an end to affirmative action, the challenges to voting rights and equitable redistricting seen recently in states such as Alabama and Louisiana, The onslaught of book bans and revisionist curriculum standards for teaching Black history, and the lack of action to address the Black maternal mortality crisis in a post-Roe v. Wade landscape. In the words of Congresswoman Terry Sewell of Alabama, old battles have indeed become new again.
Black people literally feel attacked. There's a ban on black, a ban on blackness happening. It's targeted, it's well-funded, it's organized, and it's orchestrated. Black people are under attack in America. Our fundamental rights are under assault, and our very history is being denied. But we will not stand by quietly as it happens.
The goal is to condition this generation to white supremacy, because they see this generation is pushing against this far right-wing fascist ideology. We want our freedoms. We want our people to be safe. And so seeing that as an existential threat to the Republican Party, they aim to change the way a generation thinks by changing what we teach them.
Amazing. Those people are lying to you, and they are doing it to control you. Their focus is on things. Their focus is on things that are not even real. Racism and all that crap. That's not true. Telling you the truth about how black people really function is not what they want you to hear. They don't want you to know that, because they need you to be stupid so that they can control you, and they make money and so-called power for themselves. A fake perceived power, but they think that's what they have. And they don't want you to know the real truth. And I believe, I could be wrong, but I believe that some black guy wrote the curriculum down in Florida. It wasn't even Desantis who did it. But they don't want you to know that. They want you to think that slavery was just torture for everybody and their mama. They don't even want you to know that there were black people who owned slaves in America. Because that'll make you free. That'll make you become an independent individual. And what would they do if they can't use you to make money off? What would they do? What would they talk about? They will have nothing. Those men and women who disagree with telling blacks the true history about slavery are evil people. The battle is a warfare between good and evil, inside of you and outside of you, inside of others. They don't care about you black people. And unfortunate too many of you are falling for it. They want you out raping, robbing, murdering, stealing, and breaking in and taking cars and doing that. They're not doing it, but they want you to do it. That's why they're pushing the lie over the truth. And this idea of hating white people is ridiculous. There's not one reason to hate white people. Not one. You can't think of one. Really. You cannot think of one reason to hate white people. As a matter of fact, you can't think of one reason to hate anyone, to have anger toward anyone. There's not one reason to have anger toward yourself or anyone else. I promise you that. There's not one reason to have anger toward yourself or anyone. Any person that has anger is a blind person. They cannot see, so they push in a lie as though it's the truth. And it's not. The Congressional Black Caucus should be ashamed of itself, but it's not. It's making money off you being angry. And to blame white people is foolish. It's like there are some whites who hate the Jews. What you hated the Jews for? That doesn't even make sense to me. And it shouldn't make sense to you. The blacks hate the white, some whites hate the Jews, and the Arabs and the Jews are fighting, and the Allahu Akbar against the Christians, and everybody think that their thoughts are right. They're not. Even in South Africa, it's a mess. And South Africa is happening here in America. But it's gotten worse. Even though the white people left the city and gave it to the blacks, the blacks are still not happy. Because it's not about physical, it's about spirit. The blacks are still, South Africans have said, okay, we're going to leave. We're going to the border. We're going to leave. I think, how you say that, Sean? The BOER. Boy, we're going to be boy. And the black people still mad. Because all they're doing is destroying everything that the white people leave behind. And unfortunately, America is South Africa. Mummy Africa. Fox reported that South African political leader Julius Malema led racially violent chants at a massive rally on Saturday. Malema, who is the leader of the Economic Freedom Fighter Party, saying, "Kill the boy." Boy, that means white person, right, Sean? Boy means kill the white people, the farmers, referring to the white descendants of settlers as boy, whatever, in South Africa. Watch this from Twitter.
Alliance shoot to kill Hamza, kill the poor, the farmer, kill the poor, the farmer. Brr, pa, pa, brr, pa, pa. Attention.
Wow. Doesn't that sound like Ilhan Omar blaming the white people, being afraid of the whites? Look at all those numbers of people who are dancing and shouting, "Kill the whites," the farmers. They call white people over there, they call them Boer. Kill the Boer. Kill. What would happen if there were all white people chanting that about the blacks? Kill the blacks. What do you think would be going on right now? And just think about that. The number of people who are shouting, dancing, and going along with it. That's happening in America right now. And it's not as full out there yet, but it's happening. And it's going to get worse. It's going to get worse. I want you to realize, for those who don't know, that the white people gave up their country to the blacks. And they moved out into the farmlands. Okay, blacks, we're going to leave y'all alone. We're going to walk away. You can have it all. We'll just go out and live on the farm, okay? Y'all can have it. Instead of the blacks making it better, they destroyed it. And now they want to go to the farmlands and kill the whites. And kill the whites. Don't you hear the cry for white people to be wiped out here in this country too? By people who can't do anything for themselves? They're not going to, if every white person died or left the country today, America would just be over. It wouldn't be anything improved about it at all. It's a battle between good and evil, folks. Fox reported that while the EFF is a relatively new party, it appears to be rising in the popularity. Malema was originally, listen to this, Malema was originally a youth leader in the African National Congressional Congress. The African National Congress, led by South Africa's first black leader, Nelson Mandela. I told you Mandela was a communist, a socialist, and you worshiped him. Led by Nelson Mandela in 2019, Malema declared, "White people, all we want is to join you at the dinner table If you do not want us to sit with you, then we have no choice but to destroy the table. So if we can't sit with you at the table, we're going to destroy the table. We ain't going to go build our own table. Either you do it our way or we'll destroy you. Because we're not capable of doing it on our own. We black. What a mess, huh? And the white people on the run. That's what's happening in South Africa and America. 888, happy Men's History Month, by the way. August is Men's History Month. What a battle, huh? Between good and evil. Let me go out to the United Kingdom and talk to TJ. TJ, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Welcome back, Jesse.
Thank you, sir. Happy Men's History Month.
Happy Men's History Month.
Yes, sir.
Did you think about moving back there, getting a big old colonial house by a river and doing the program from there and teaching people to fish and farm and?
It definitely crossed my mind. It's so beautiful. There are landscapes in Georgia. Not in Atlanta, the city. I'm not talking about that, but out on the outskirts. Beautiful land, man. Trees and lots of land. And it really, really is a beautiful place. It would be perfect for it.
Yeah, I always thought that might happen, that you guys would move out there and find because everybody comes to work for your program anyway, wherever you are. So,
right.
And then you could sit on the terrace in the evenings, etc. Anyway.
Nice.
It's good to see you.
Thank you, man.
I wanted to call about your observations in your sermon this morning, which have really hit me in the last couple of weeks about women. And I've mentioned a couple of times that I think Christ is, my example for everything. And I've mentioned that he is the only one that was monk, that didn't get involved with women at all. And it really made me think. I was really contemplating on this. And then I saw in Genesis that Sarah used to call Abraham Lord. And I think it's very clear to me now that really everything is really upside down, and that the whole order that you've been speaking about is completely wrong. And men have to, I think probably the only way to do it, for other people to realize this, is to just walk away from women 100%. It seems to be the biggest trick, even though our anatomy is designed and all this kind of thing to go with women. The idea that we need to be with women seems to be one of the biggest tricks, and it almost dominates our life completely, constantly and completely.
Yeah.
And if you can just walk away from it, you can really see the truth about what that situation is. And I think Christ is he is the best example for all things, but he showed us the way with that. And then I think once we do that, women will realize that really men are their lords, and there's a good chance things will fall back into place, but men just 100% have to walk away, I think.
TJ,
and then they will see it.
You make a very, very, mamma mia, a good point. What men got to do is, in order to overcome the woman being their gods, they got to pull away and know thyself. And once they welcome the truth in, the truth will put them back in order, and then the women will be, as they already are, subject to the man rather than the man being subject to the woman. They got to return to the Father so that will happen naturally. And because the women need men to be the light of the world, salt of the earth, because they're completely lost and their fathers have failed them, so they need somebody to show them the right way. The mothers have failed them by turning them away from the Father. But if they were to pull away and work on self and not putting the woman before God or anyone before what is right, everything's going to fall in place naturally. If it meant for him to have a wife, it will happen naturally. it'll be the right one. But as long as they're like thinking about the woman day and night and smiling and grinning and trying to please her and satisfy her, all they're going to catch is pure hell. And all the woman is going to catch is pure hell because she's dealing with a weak man. That's why relationships don't work, because both parties are weak. And they're trying to get something from one another that they don't have to give.
Thank you for pointing this out, Jesse. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome, but you make a very, very good point, man. It's a deep point. Thank you.
All the best.
Thank you, buddy. Appreciate it. Just think about some of the things that are happening with men and women today. Think about a man that would marry a woman who already been married with children. That ain't common sense. You know what I mean? Or even get involved with a woman and then try to tell her children what to do. And then the father get angry. We had a caller, I think last week. Not last week. I wasn't here last week. Week before, sometime. And he was saying that he got with this woman. She already had a child. He made a baby by her. And then he was trying to help her raise the child she already had. And now he's in trouble with the child's father because the father didn't want him to try to raise his son or his child. And now the mother turned on him. And now he's stuck with a baby with the woman. You have to be blind to get in that situation. How are you going to tell another man that he can't tell you to leave his child alone? If you were the father, would you want that to happen to you? There's already enough hell with the woman. But it's just all messed up now. And then the woman messed up because she's trying to bring any old man into there just to control him and calling it love, thinking she's going to get something from the man. And she used, I need somebody to help me with the children. Let the father help. It's all messed up, folks. God in Christ, Christ in man, man over woman, woman over children. Ain't nothing else going to work. And then if you don't get married, because you shouldn't, and men are over all women. Men are the head of all women, whether it's your wife or not. Women need men to be right. They don't need you to be weak. They love you when you're weak because they hate you when you're weak. And they'll take advantage of it because they know you're weak, grinning and carrying on, but they hate you for it. I saw so many hurt and lost and angry, out of control women. And men, I want you to know that until the woman overcome her anger, forgive her mother, return to her father, every woman that you have ever seen, including your mama, that you will ever see, including grandmama, are all insane. They're all insane. They're miserable. Even those that read the Bible and go to church, they're miserable. You heard somebody call this morning. He thought he met a Christian woman, marry her, and now he's catching pure hell. And he's concerned, how about if I divorce and the Lord don't want you to get divorced? The Lord didn't put you with her. That came strictly from the devil. Just because you say, I promise God I'll do this or that, you ain't promising God anything. Marquell is the first time caller out of Georgia. Georgia, on my mind. Marquell, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hey, how you doing, Jess?
All is well, sir.
Hey, that's good to hear, man. I was calling today because I wanted to know more of, like, what you have to teach on as in religion and stuff that you've learned throughout your lifetime.
What I have to teach on religion?
Yeah, like I first seen your when I first heard of you, I seen a video of you and you was talking to a guy about apes or something like that.
About what? Apes?
And yeah, you were talking about apes.
Apes?
And he was pretty apes.
Oh,
like
okay.
AP, like
right.
the monkey.
Right.
And he pretty much was saying like human was apes and stuff like that. So I've been through like multiple interviews of pretty much saying I can debunk it just by like speaking on like pre-existence.
The next time someone tell you that man came from ape, ask them when the last time they seen a monkey turn into a man.
Exactly. And he really couldn't say anything about it. And
right.
I don't been to school, and I don't pretty much been learning about the whole theory of evolution and all of this and that. And I got into a debate on something called Atheist Show, like a year ago. And I was speaking to them as in I was telling them I had an existence before my very human existence.
That's right.
I remember everything. I remember before Earth and all. I don't know if you ever heard a pre-existence. Ever heard of what pre-existence means?
I've heard of it, meaning that you knew before you were even born onto the earth.
Exactly. I have clear memory of my existence before I was ever here on Earth. And I was speaking to him about it, and he pretty much saying, I guess he didn't understand it as well, but he pretty much just I guess he really couldn't say much. He was just trying to learn more on it, and I was just telling him the whole monkey situation is just really debunked just from that discussion alone. And it was just something that was just inspiration to see when you was talking about it on your show.
Yeah.
And how you pretty much was telling him no, that's not what happened, and how you speak on God and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I really love stuff like that because God really exists, and I tell people all the time God. I mean, God is most definitely invisible, but God exists 100%. There's no way around it. I have pure facts on that God exists. I have 100% proof.
God only does not exist to those who cannot see. But if you can see, you will see that God exists. But they can't see. And I want you to imagine this, and it sounds like you have already. Somebody told somebody that human beings came from apes, from monkeys. And yet, ain't nobody ever seen a monkey turn into a human being. But yet, people believe it only because somebody said it, rather than getting to know if it's true or not. And they would see, common sense would show them that a man did not come from an ape. It's just crazy, but because people don't think for themselves.
I mean, you can't really blame them on it because of, in school, honestly, God truth, in school, when I was in, middle school, etc.
Yeah.
I also was taught that.
Yeah. Well, I wasn't taught that in school. I just heard the so-called educated people say it after school. And I realized, later on in my adult life, but I realize now that educated people are some of the dumbest people on this side of heaven.
Yeah.
Their intellect is all evil, and they have no common sense at all.
Yeah, no, honestly.
Well, next time they bring that up, say, tell me when the last time you seen an ape turn into a man. They're going to look at you like you're crazy.
No, on some real stuff, man. Dang on. I did want to talk to you, though, on, I guess, getting on the show.
About getting on the show?
Yeah, I want to speak to people about my whole pre-existence.
Hold on a minute and give that to my producer, Sean. Give him your contact information, all right?
Okay.
All right, hold on. I got to take a quick break. The treasure chest is now open on D-Live. I'll be back in a moment. I noticed after a while that when these guys overcome their anger, they have amazing ideas about starting a business, but because they've been told that if you don't get a loan from the bank, or if you don't have a 5-year plan, or if you don't do this, and it's just simply not true, it's the first step. With faith, then all things are possible. So, but the most important thing is to return to the Father. That yearning that you have, that emptiness, that void, is not for more stuff. It's not for more friends. It is a return to the Father. because there's no way you can return to God and be angry at your earthly father. So thank you all so much, right? People around the world donated to Bond at rebuildingtheman.com, or they call 800-411-2663, and we're still committed to pointing the right way for men and women to return to the Father. Okay, welcome back. The men's forum is this Thursday night, if the Lord is willing and the creek don't rise. Every first Thursday night of the month for men only. And then third Thursday night for ladies only at 7 p.m. So we are having a men's forum this Thursday night. It is the first Thursday of the month. I am back. Thank you all so much for helping my crew to help you and all that you've done financially and all that to make all this happen. And I do thank you. I don't take that for granted. All right. The Hake report is coming up at the top of this hour. The Hake, HAKE.com. The Hake report. You don't want to miss it. James Hake is on fire from 9 to 11 a.m. Pacific time. And then right after the Hake report, Joel Friday TV, he's here every Tuesday. Joel Friday TV, every Tuesday. So you don't want to miss that. And at 12 noon, the American Anchor Baby. The American Anchor Baby at 12 noon today. Check it out. For personalized shout-outs, and we do a lot of them, birthday shout-outs, weddings, whatever the occasion is, you can go to cameo.com/Jesse Lee Peterson, cameo.com/Jesse Lee Peterson. Birthdays, encouragements, weddings, miseries, breaking up, fighting, getting arrested, whatever it might be. Shout out to so-and-so and so-and-so in jail. Well, go to cameo, cameo.com/Jesse Lee Peterson. And support us by donating to cash.app/Bond JLP. Cash.app/Bond JLP. All right, I do appreciate it. I want to show you one example amongst many of what anger will do to you. Anyone that has anger is a murderer. Anger is evil. And anyone who has anger has fear. Anyone. Overcome anger, you'll overcome fear. Overcome fear, you'll overcome anger. This is a police body camera footage of a domestic disturbance response. Watch this from Police Insider.
On July 15th, 2022, officers responded to a 911 call about a domestic disturbance from a neighbor. They advised that a female was yelling and physically attacking a male.
You have scratches on your neck. Okay, Okay, which are signs of some kind of battery. All right, which are probably from your girlfriend, right?
If I don't want to press charges, we're fine, right?
It's probably from your girlfriend, right?
No matter.
Okay, so if it's from your girlfriend, that means it's a domestic violence.
So what's going on?
I just had an argument. It's nothing serious. I'm sorry. It was.
So what's your relationship with this guy?
That's my boyfriend for about a year now.
Okay. And so what's going on between you two?
Just a verbal argument, but like I said, we're both at my mom's shop right now. It was nothing extravagant.
Okay. It's more than a verbal argument because we had people calling in saying that a female was hanging on the shirt of a male.
Like that.
And there is screaming. So domestic
Did anyone
violence.
see that, or did they just hear us arguing? Because I yelled like a mother. I ain't lying. It's not even him half the time. It's me.
Okay.
I will completely say that. I'll go to jail right now for that.
Okay.
That's me. Let me go, baby. Leave him the out of it, bro. You're a f***ing bald ass, f***ing fat, white ass. Go! Hey, you!
So say that?
No, you f***ing bald, white.
Okay.
Your wife cheats on you 3 times a f***ing day, you dirty ass.
I'm not married.
No one wants to. Why'd you arrest me then?
I didn't.
Why'd you arrest me? Why am I in the back of a cop car right now?
I'm just transporting you.
Okay, but why? Where's the proof and the legalization? Where?
The female was charged with criminal damage to property, assault upon a peace officer, battery upon a peace officer, resisting arrest, and domestic battery.
Wow. See, guys, what you living with? That woman is looking for a father's love. And that man was looking for a mama's love. And this is what you get. What a mess. You got to overcome anger. You don't have to. You can suffer in your hell. I know already that most people love their hell. They don't want to overcome it. And they want to inflict hell on you. They want to inflict hell on you. Human beings want to hurt others because they're miserable. They're evil. Don't let anyone convince you that anger is good. Anger is fear. Anger is very dangerous. It's up to you, but there are a few people out there who, men and women, who want to overcome it. They want to and are overcoming it. Because if you want to overcome it, you can overcome it. Amazing, huh? Let me go to out of Florida, Deontay. Deontay, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
How are you doing today, Jesse?
All is well. Thanks for calling.
So I want to make it quick. Just want to let you know, thank you for pointing me in the way. I called you first time about 3 years ago, and I had a bunch of issues. And, I recently came to the conclusion that all thoughts are all lies all the time.
Yeah.
And my life has changed phenomenally. I don't know if I just said that word right. I'm black and slow.
I understand. I'm black and slow, too, so it's very clear.
But my life has changed. I've seen my wife has changed. As in, what she says to me doesn't bother me anymore. It just goes, I know it's a demon inside of her.
Yep.
And I hear the same demons in my head.
Yep.
But I keep the cloak of all thoughts are all lies all the time, and none of them bother me. Everything. My mom, I can tell her how to cow eat the cabbage. My grandma, I can tell her how to cow eat the cabbage. Everybody else, no one, no one bothers me anymore. I live in my own surrounding. And I just wanted to say thank you because, some situations happen, and I believed in lies. And I wanted to say I apologize for anything negative I said about you. And I wanted to say that to you, man to man.
You're welcome.
And I appreciate you very much.
You're welcome, buddy. How did your wife change? You said your wife had changed. She changed from what to what?
She didn't change, actually. She just showed her hell.
Yeah.
She didn't change. I mean, she was already that, but she's showing it now.
Yeah.
But it doesn't bother me.
Good, man.
I handle it with perfect peace.
Right
so
on.
I just wanted to appreciate you and thank you for what you do. And this is just a testimony that my life has changed completely.
Deontay, stay with it. Stay with it. Stay with it. I don't care what situation comes. You stay with the silent prayer, watching those thoughts, knowing that all thoughts are all lies all the time about anything. You cannot go wrong, and you will overcome the world. That's amazing, man.
Jesse, I couldn't go back if I tried.
I know.
I would never want to go back to that hell.
Yeah, you can go back because once it's over, it's over. It doesn't exist anymore. Amazing. Well, thank you, Deontay. Amazing call. Stay with it. Stay with it, all right?
You have a great day. God bless you.
You too, buddy. You can overcome, folks, if you want to. Or you can stay in your hell. Let me do super chats and then I get back. There's one line open now, 888-7753-773. Super chat.
Super chat.
Super.
Yes, sir. Let's see what we got over on D Live from Coffee Talk with Sandra with a diamond.
Coffee Talk.
Shout out to the producers. Great job.
Thank you. Shout out to the producers, as Hake would say.
Indeed.
He white.
Stars.
You do look.
Say again?
You do look darker.
Yeah. Not blacker, though.
You want to be blacker?
No. Black enough on the inside. Star Sion bought a coffee on buymeacoffee.com/JLP Talk.
I like your shirt, by the way.
Thank you. I like it too. It says, "You are a beta male." And it's from that photograph of you pointing at Mark Ridley-Thomas.
Yeah.
A male who changed his last name when he got married to his wife. He combined his wife's last name with his own last name. He was born Mark Thomas. Nice American, black American name. And then he married a woman named Ridley. So Ridley-Thomas is his last name now.
Wow. What a story.
Yep.
Anyway.
Star Sion with the coffee. Jesse, it is so sad, but there's nothing one can do because there's just not strong white man out there. And this country is absolutely gone. Finished. No one is standing up. America is in the hands of the Democrat far-left foreigners in government and radical blacks who are full of hatred, she says. And she continues, I try not to watch any news, anything. This is not very pithy, Sion. We're supposed to do pithy coffees. But anyway, I try not to watch any news, anything, because I just start to get into this emotion because America was such a great country to live in. Now the American passport itself has fallen away down to 5th place. You are like the voice crying in the wilderness, Jesse. Love. And then pink heart emoji with yellow flashing star sparkles.
Amazing. Thank you, Sia. It's a mess. And there are some white men who are starting to wake up now. But it's a real mess. And it's only happening because white people have fear. The blacks have it, but the white people too. That's why they won't fight for their own country. And they're letting all these people come, even from foreign country, into the government and telling them how to run their own country. But thank you. What a mess. Appreciate it.
And one that I don't think we read, I don't know if I put it in the folder. Wrinklehands Bing Bong gave a diamond saying, chat missed you, Jesse. We love you like 90. And then
going down.
Smiling, contented heart, contented emoji with smiley with hearts around, yes. And then a pink heart emoji. Thank you.
Nice. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Amazing.
And shout out to our top contributors, Mav Angel, Stan 60 Nan, Coffee Talk with Sandra, and the rest. Appreciate you guys.
Thank you all. Amazing. I do appreciate it. What you talking about at the top of this hour?
Well, let me pull it up. Well, it's a surprise, but
nice.
I am going to talk about your interview with John Zerka that aired. Just a touch about it.
Oh, okay.
Because there was a Cozy Clips. Put it out on Twitter. Put a portion of it out on Twitter.
Right.
Uncensored. I censored part of it.
Right.
Talking about, you don't believe in the Trinity, Jesse? You don't believe that Jesus is God? And so you have a little discussion about doing greater works. So that's one of the things. I'm going to talk about sturgeons because there's a sturgeon supermoon tonight.
What's a sturgeon supermoon?
I don't know, but CNN said that it's going to be glowing close to the horizon, the full moon.
Nice.
Maybe August has a sturgeon moon, and different things. The big X, Twitter is now X. Are you going to call it X?
Oh, yeah, I just found out this morning that Twitter is now X. And I'm asking, hey, what is this X on my phone? I can't find Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, well, Twitter is now X.
Yeah.
I'm like, what the?
Crazy.
I know. Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. The Hake Report at the top of this hour. 888-7753-773. Let me go to Johnny, a first-time caller out of California, San Francisco to be exact. Johnny, welcome to the show.
Yes. Hey, I can't believe I made it.
Amazing.
Thank you, Jesus. Oh, nice to talk to you, Pastor. I have a lot of love and respect for you.
Well, thank you, but you could just call me Jesse.
Okay, Pastor Jesse. I see these little clips you have of people you interview, and they're really lost and have reprobate minds and don't know who they are and all that. But I wonder, why doesn't Pastor Jesse read the Word of God to them? Actually, you should read Romans chapter 1 to them. You should put that in their ear. Now,
and why is that?
Well, because that Romans chapter 1, it actually talks about homosexuality.
And how would read the Bible to them help them?
Well, it's the Word, and it's a seed. The Word of God is a seed, and you're planting a seed in their hearts. But
nobody has ever been helped by reading the Bible.
No?
Nowhere, no time.
I don't know. I wanted to read something to you right now, if it's all right.
Well, you can on Thursday. Thursday's our Bible Thumping Thursday. I want to get to some call, but I want to ask, are you a Christian, Johnny?
Oh, all the way, yes.
And
yes,
then,
I am.
Did you become a Christian by reading the Bible?
No, well, I received the Christian. I became a Christian by receiving Christ in my heart as my Lord and Savior.
But not by.
He's the only one, huh?
But not by reading the Bible, right?
Well, I've read the Bible, but that doesn't save you.
Right.
It's what Jesus done on the cross that saves you.
And so when you read the Bible, when you became a Christian, what changed about you?
Well, I have a lot of compassion, love and compassion for people I used to just hate. I did have a lot of emotional problems when I was young, and I was in an institution and I took medication. Do you know the Lord miraculously delivered me from psychiatric medicine. I have not taken a psych pill since 1993.
Have you forgiven your mother?
Yes, I did.
You told her?
Yes, I did.
What did she say when you told her?
I don't remember. She's gone now. She died. But I'll tell you, I made peace with her. I told her I loved her. And I used to, last time I talked to her before she died, I was reading the Bible to her.
Amazing.
You know.
And why do you tell her you forgive her for what she did to you that caused you to end up in a psych ward?
I don't know if I went into all of that, you know.
So why did you tell her you love her when you didn't really love her? You hated her.
No, I didn't hate her.
You didn't hate her for putting you into a psych ward?
No, she didn't do it. I put myself there.
No, the spirit of your mother drove you there because you resented the spirit in her.
You know, I don't know. I believe that's all been forgiven. I mean, you know, Jesus is in that business.
I know, but
that's why we're forgiven. Huh?
That's why God said we have to forgive others because all our sins have been taken away. We've been forgiven, right? But when you didn't apologize to your mother for forgiving her, for putting you into a psych ward with her spirit because of the way she was, that wasn't forgiveness if you didn't apologize for resenting her.
Oh, but I did.
Oh, you did?
I did. I'm telling you, I did.
Okay.
Yes.
Did you forgive your father for not protecting you from your mother?
I never knew my dad.
Why not?
Well, because I was illegitimate. I never knew him.
Wow. When you ask your mother about him, what would he say?
She told me where he was from, and he was, you know, he was in the Korean War, and then he disappeared. She used to write letters to his family, and I tried to find his family, but I haven't had any success in that. But you know, it's okay. It doesn't bother me.
Nice.
And I don't have any hatred or any resentment or remorse toward my mother. I'm fine.
Good, man. Well, that's
my sins have been covered by the blood of Jesus.
The blood. That's right. Well, I appreciate it, Johnny. Because of time, I got to run. But Bible Thumper Thursday, if you want to call back then, we can talk about that too, all right?
Okay, you know, I wanted to read on Thursday, 1 Timothy chapter 4.
Okay, well, remember that because I'm not going to remember. And call me back on Thursday, all right?
I will, Pastor Jesse. God bless you.
All right, and
God bless you.
And it's just Jesse.
Okay, Jesse. I'm sorry.
No problem. All right, brother. Thank you. Wow, I'm so out of time. I tried to get to more calls. I am so out of time. What's up? The Hake Report is coming up now from 9 to 11 a.m. Pacific time. And then after that, Joel Friday TV from 11 to noon. And then American Anchor Baby is coming up. All right? Become your own man. Become your own woman. You could be free or you could stay in your hell. It's totally up to you in ways that I can't even imagine. It's up to you. All right? Do the silent prayer. Forgive for being angry to your mother and your father, and you'll be free. It's just that simple. The Mike from first time call out of California, Ashley out of Nevada, and Chris, I believe, that just hung up. I am just out of time. Tomorrow is Manhood Hour in the third hour. I'll be back if the Lord is willing and the creek don't rise. And thank you all again for supporting my team when I was away. I definitely appreciate it. And they did an amazing job. All right, an amazing job. Take care. The Hake Report is coming up now.
So you get something went wrong, but check. I had to get on the track one time. Joel Friday here. Check. Look, stand up. We got fighting to do. We gotta show 'em who boss. He put a Viking in you. He put that lightning in you, igniting the truth. But you beg and blame and lie and hate and never wanna stand for the truth. So what you planning to do? You understanding the lose. You better go talk to your mama, better stop at the drama, better drop all the trauma. Boy, you better stand up and up. Put your hand up and hut. Cause if we don't, then we lose, and then we gotta hear the fake news. Whoa. You must know that so you get something went wrong, but face the truth about yourself and just seek first God's kingdom, cause you must know that so you get something went wrong, but face the truth about yourself and just seek first God's kingdom, cause
So, here's what I recommend. I invite you to download my silent prayer, and I want you to start doing it. You just download it, get the points of how to do it, and then after a while, you just do it on your own. It's going to point you in the right direction that your life will be returned to you from God. He will give you your life back, because anyone and all people who has anger, they're not themselves. You are the person that you are angry at. That's why it's so important to get to know yourself so that you can see who you're angry at. And if you're doing the hooping and hollering prayers and things like that, some people get up, oh, praise the Lord, hoop and holler, bless my mama, bless my daddy. Continue to do it. Do both. You will see if you want to stay with the hooping and hollering or do you want to be still and know God. So my gift to you, no charge, at rebuildingtheman.com/church. I noticed after a while that when these guys overcome their anger, they have amazing ideas about starting a business, but because they've been told that if you don't get a loan from the bank, or if you don't have a 5-year plan, or if you don't do this, and it's just simply not true, it's the first step. With faith, then all things are possible. So, but the most important thing is to return to the Father. That yearning that you have, that emptiness, that void, is not for more stuff. It's not for more friends. It is a return to the Father, because there's no way you can return to God and be angry at your earthly father. So thank you all so much, right? People around the world donated to Bond at rebuildingtheman.com, or they call 800-411-2663, and we're still committed to pointing the right way for men and women to return to the Father.